right spot. I'm moving us via Twitch things, OBS.
Okay, so we start D&D.
Aye, aye, Captain.
With 7, 8. Hold on. My last notes were like for 5:23.
Fine.
Your last notes would have been session 15.
Yeah, so but that was 5:23 date-wise.
So I'm gonna have to pull up the wonderful notes by Sal here.
What the No, they're not wonderful because they're not biased and not centered around me.
I actually
They
enjoy
are biased.
both notes because, like, they're great. They're both great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, me and Sal, it's a whole thing, you know? Being writing, it's hard to be illiterate and write.
Hard to be illiterate and write.
What, you illiterate?
Wait, what?
Alright.
Because I said full send it. Or send it.
The
Full send it.
Boy load? What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not gonna ask.
It wasn't 3 weeks ago.
It was 3 weeks
It was
ago.
not 3 weeks
It was
ago.
3 weeks ago.
I'll do it immediately after we're done with this session. Before I do any notes, I'm just gonna go straight out and do the inspire mod.
You changed your icon, Neto. So handsome.
So
He's got a
I think he
face.
looks like Darren, but like skinnier.
He's got a face.
No.
The new
Darren's fine.
Neto icon. I'm gonna move everybody around a little bit.
Cabs.
So
He,
names.
Free reign! Let me move!
Absolutely not.
Free
He-
reign!
He Berea.
Where did we end? No, don't talk to me.
Berea.
Where did we end?
So,
In the place with the space.
to recap, so let's see. To recap, at the beginning of the episode, Neto had created a smoothie that he was cleaning, and Rex had offered to do some repairs at the half full cup. So as they were doing that, Berea, Svenna, and Morlock returned to the half full cup, and Nymeria went off to do her dream pastries quest, if you will, from her patron Tom Kench.
Thanks.
Yeah. We will get to that bit here in a second. Svenna, so once everybody, Svenna, Berea, and Morlock returned to the half full cup, everybody sat down, had some drinks. After some really tense situations between Rex and Morlock specifically, Morlock was able to bridge the gap of not necessarily understanding each other by clumsily trying to do a cheers with Rex, which turned into drinking, which turned into hugging, which turned into a sleepover in Svenna and Borea's room.
Berea's
With
room. Just Berea's.
it's platonically Svenna and Borea's room.
No, it was mine. Svenna just showed up.
Big sleepover. Rex and Morlock shared a bed of sorts in the corner, just sort of like cuddling. It was interesting. Svenna and Borea also shared a bed. I believe Neto just got his own bed.
Of course.
Yep. During the night, however, Nymeria was busy at work, going to the Trickster and the Flagon and discussing with the lovely goblin people there, looking for these dream pastries, which is an illegal pastry made with drug hallucinogenic substances.
It is?
Yeah.
What?
After doing a significant amount of discussions, hunting down bribery even, perhaps, she managed to find the one person in Matai who can make dream pastries. And after working out a favorable deal with the said individual, she received the pastries, was able to contact her patron Tom Kench, turning those in, And Tom Kench did not thank her for her efforts, but was more like, what took you so long? Took the pastries and disappeared into the watery depths. Nymeria spent a large portion of the following day passed out sleeping, whilst the party then went and explored around. Louis Luxter taking them to the Snuggle Pit, which is the in-town arena. The party fought off 4 werewolves and an alpha werewolf that evening for the show. After defeating the werewolves quite handily with 3 ice balls and a lot of, Spartan kicking and whatnot, Rex pulled a tooth out from the alpha, put the head on a spike for the crowd. The crowd cheered and roared. They were all riled up and wanted more. An additional fight was offered by the arena master. And up from a secondary cage rose up a small, young golden dragon. Looking battered, bruised, its wings torn, and ready to kill anything that gets near it. The dragon prepared for combat, but was taken aback by the party's kindness as they attempted to befriend the dragon. After some short bursts of dialogue and some cheering, booing, and then confusion from the crowd, as well as the arena master, the party more or less forced their way out of the arena, taking the golden dragon with them as a friend. The golden dragon introduced herself as Ignatia, and does not know where she comes from, only that she has a mother, and that
Gender
she...
check herself?
Herself. Yeah, it was always a her, just nobody caught it.
I didn't roll her over to check, alright?
Please
So-
do not the dragon.
So after the exiting of the arena, at which the arena master cowered after a beam of light shot directly past his head, the party then sort of split up. Rex heading straight back to the tavern, with the party behind him. And as the party passed by the tavern heading to the ogre camp, Rex goes into the bar, sits down and gets a drink. Tracy sees the party and the dragon walking outside, along with Morlock the demon, of course. She does a double check, turns to Rex and tries to ask about it. He's like, nope, not doing it. Just give me the beer. That's where we left Rex off. The remainder of the party made their way... The remainder of the party, minus Netto, made their way to the ogre camp. Netto, on the other hand, headed off to the guild hall, because he had one brilliant idea: to talk to Lephia. So, Nymeria, Barea, Svenna, and Morlock, along with their new friend Ignatia, made their way to the ogre camp, and after some conversation with Ulam and whatnot, Barea and Ignatia decided to stay the evening in the camp, and were provided with a tent, as well as bedding, as well as a sheep, which was declined thoughtfully. At this point, Svenna and Morlock made their way back to the tavern, and going to what I suppose would be Borea's room, they sort of awkwardly chose different beds before having a thoughtful conversation about Morlock's home and how they gain power through absorption of their own race. At which point Svenna and Morlock faded away, passing out into the night. Netto, however, had gone off to Lephia's guild hall and went to her actual house, which is an attached house on the back. As he entered, he heard some thumping, grunting sort of sounds coming from one of the back rooms. And as they started walking their way, I'm sorry, I'm so distracted by the song. As Neto made his way towards the back of the guild hall, he heard some grunting, some interesting sounds. So he got closer and closer, getting towards the back of the area, and there was definitely some maybe moaning sounds happening. Neto, what exactly did you do to get people to pay attention to you? I can't remember.
Got a nice, call out, and then just
that's
amplified
right.
myself. Just one more, oi, hello,
Hello.
the fuck?
I remember there was an immediate stop of all activity. Lephia exited the furthest back room in a robe, and it had sort of a exasperated discussion with Neto. Being like, hey, how are you? Why are you here at this hour? I guess it's fine. I've already been interrupted. And called out for her friend, who we've identified as Ryze, to exit the room as well. And after some conversation about Neto possibly being the one individual who can get into contact with Yordles, they decided to call it a night, have a sleepover, and work it all out in the morning, which is when we begin. So we're going to go ahead and start with one bit of information here, because I need to make sure I specify this information for everyone involved. I have some, I'm not really sure they're technically retcons, because I'm not necessarily changing stuff. I'm more just being specific.
Well, I mean, better than being Atlantic.
Yeah. Obviously. So, the information that I'm technically specifying, Morlock. Morlock has been being referred to as a demon, which is not incorrect. However, he's specifically going to be classified now as a devil. Devils speak Abyssal and Infernal. He stands 9 feet tall. Demons, specifically, are any demonic, non-sentient creature who craves violence and power, and they generally survive on instinct alone, or listen to the strongest of their pack, i.e. their master. There are also Darkin spawn. Darkin spawn are the result of small slivers of power being imbued into demons and other lowly, non-sentient beings. They speak Abyssal and serve only their master, the one that created them. Thulam, this one doesn't apply to Morlock, but Thulam is the largest of the ogres, is considered a large unit. He also stands 11 feet tall. Chat, I went ahead and put that in there in case you're interested. Yeah. Now, with all that out of the way,
They're not interested. They're chat.
they're chat. Hi, chat. Thanks for all the stuff. I'm gonna hydrate now because that was a lot of talking. Okay. Now, we're gonna go ahead and start off with Neto this session.
Ugh.
Thanks, I guess.
I love you.
Yep. So Neto, every night as you sleep, tonight you're sleeping at Lephia's. You had a nice little sleepover. You had a wonderful plate of Krug butter with some bread, and it was reminiscent of home. You even got to see Mount Targon, thanks to Ryze.
Do I get my own bed? Couch?
You slept on the couch. Now, as you slept, your dreams every night are really just nightmares. They come and go, and some nights you don't dream at all, which seems to be preferred. But tonight, you have another of your very special nightmares. The ones where you sort of are there. You seem to awaken, sort of floating in midair, just over what seems to be a bloodied battlefield. It isn't Targon. That's not where you are. It just seems to be some edge of a forest and a clearing. And you look down, and you see a single figure stirring. This figure is Agatha, your close friend and training buddy from when you were training to become Solari. She's battered and bruised, lying there. She seems to be knocked out, and her eyes begin to flicker open. The sun is not risen, it's twilight. Right in between when the moon sets and the sun rises, and she slowly sits up, wincing, gripping her side. She stands and surveys the area around her. It's filled with Darkin spawn, slaughtered pieces, just gory and very dark. Further out into her eyesight, a very thick mist seems to have taken hold, and she can only see maybe 15 feet out. But those 15 feet are filled with bodies. Most of them are Darkin spawn or demons, but not all of them. Some of them are her brothers and sisters. And you, Neto, recognize that they're both Solari and Lunari. They seem to have been fighting together against the darkness. As Agatha stands, she picks up both a shining golden shield on one side and a crescent blade in the shape of the moon on the other. She seems to hold them as if they're old friends in her hands. She walks through the mist looking for survivors, and figures begin to appear out of the mist. She readies her weapons as if prepared to go out fighting, and realizes that they are actually just some of her brothers and sisters, the survivors of this additional massacre to her people. Both the golden armored Solari and the silver armored Lunari appear, and they all gather around her as if she seems to be the impromptu leader of the group. Many Targonians also come from the mist, gathering around these great warriors. But Neto, you can tell that there's much less here than there even was at the battle on Targon. Their numbers have dwindled significantly. The group starts to make their way through the mist, stepping over the bodies of friend and foe alike. And a bright blue light appears in front of them. And out steps a blue man with runes across his body, scrawled on the skin. He walks up and begins speaking with Agatha, and your vision begins to fade as you wake up to the first rays of the morning sun hitting your eyes through a window. You realize you're in Lephia's home, and you remember that you had just spoken with this blue-skinned, rune-scrawled man just the night before. The house is quiet, the sun having just begun to rise. What would you like to do this morning, Neto?
I'm taking those first minutes to try and just recall the entire details thereof and run it back and not memorize, but really commit it to memory.
The dream itself?
Mm.
Okay.
And pull himself off the surface of the couch, sit himself up, and kind of collect himself. Neto understands he's already intruded, so we want to take a bit to do his best to be as quiet as possible as he's getting up for the day. And food is always the first priority, though, so he's gonna try and find some non-perishables, bread and jam or butter to start setting the table quietly.
I got you. You're trying to just make sure you do it so you don't wake anyone ahead of time.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll sleight of hand.
Start out strong.
That's a strong start. Neto, even though you are deep in your thoughts, you managed to find all the plates, all of the utensils, set the table, and I assume you're going to start making breakfast.
Without like actually starting a fire or anything cooking, just all of the non-perishables and setting the table with
you gather it up.
whatnots.
Yeah, you
And
find
then,
some butter and bread and all that, and you put it all on the table, arranged very nicely for 3 people.
Yeah, and fixing my plate and then taking it outside to while within city limits to the highest, of course, precipice being the roof, without hesitation.
Okay, so you just make your way up to the roof then. Okay. I'll say, for intents and purposes, you make your way up to the top of the roof, quiet as a mouse. You've been swinging up on roofs since you got here, and you are damn good at it.
And just bread, butters, and jam jellies, whatever he could find, and set up and process that whole experience.
The whole
dream.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
As he's gonna try and eat through it mentally, bite by bite, just kind of see what had happened versus what hadn't happened, and try and discern that with the morning sun.
Absolutely. We'll go ahead and let you digest that information then. We'll go ahead and swing on over. We'll swing on over to Borea and Ignatia. Borea, you went to sleep rather late, and you've awoken fairly early. You still got your whole long rest, so go ahead and take that.
Did it not update?
Oh, I don't know.
Double check.
Oh, I thought I did it in the last session.
Well, I don't know if you did it or not. I was just saying, you got one. But in any case, you awaken to the sound of a bustling camp. Lots of activity going on around you. You do have a very private tent, though, very heavy duty, and a great bed, for that matter.
Oh, lovely.
And live sheep.
Nope, the live sheep was put away. Ignatia is stirring. She is awake, though she is just sort of waiting to see what you do with your morning.
I'll wake up, smile at it, and then I'll go out the tent.
Okay. Ignatia is going to follow, not too far away, but a short distance. She's probably leaving about 5 to 10 feet in between you two, but never out of sight.
Can the dragon fit through doors? I don't remember how big it was.
The dragon is technically going to be around the size of I mean, the token itself is about a large unit, so...
Like, for example, those double doors are 2 squares, so could it, like, just barely...
Yeah,
through the double doors?
it could probably just barely get through there.
Okay,
I'll find that information for you here momentarily.
I just wanted to check before I said it, and then got there and was like, huh.
Right.
Yeah, I want to go to the guild hall, so I'll just start walking over there.
Okay. To the guild hall itself, like Lephia?
Like, going to Lephia's office.
Yeah. Okay.
Not her house. I don't think I know that's there.
Right, yeah. Okay. Then you're going to start making your way there. The morning sun cresting over the horizon as it shines on you and Ignacia. You wander through the town, and the early morning crowd, sort of anybody that you walk by is literally staring in wonder. But your group has now become well known in the town, and no one's really giving you any kind of like trouble. They're just like, nope.
They should know not to, yes.
Just like, nope. We know this group has got some weird friends. It's fine. They seem to have it under control. So you make your way to Lephia's office. The office itself is still closed. The door is locked.
Is the receptionist there?
No, not quite yet. It's very early in the morning.
He's gonna, like, just sit in the waiting room with Ignacia then. Just go take a seat.
Just sit outside of the... Okay.
The door was locked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna stand
Let's say there is a nice little bench nearby. That's where Neto, fed the pigeons. Or stole from the pigeons, I guess.
Commandeered.
Commandeered. A beautiful word, truly. Okay. Then we'll leave you and Ignacia to discuss whatever you may like. If you have something, you can. Otherwise, I will move to our next group.
I'm good for now.
Okay. Then let's go ahead and start with Svenna and Morlock here. Or I guess continue with Svenna and Morlock.
I feel bad because I have a lot that I wanted to do, and everyone else took like 3 seconds.
No, don't feel bad at all. That's all good. There's a lot going on with Morlock specifically right now, so it makes sense.
So, well, I guess so I'm waking up.
Yeah, so let's say that the first rays of the morning sun have crested over your windowsill and into the room. And it is illuminating both you and Morlock, and that brightness has kind of woken you just a little bit. Just a bit, so you're like groggily awaking for the morning.
Oh, okay. Okay, so when I wake up, is Morlock still sleeping?
Morlock is still currently sleeping, though he is stirring in the morning light.
Okay. Can I get a description of sleeping position and any noticeable shivers or tremors or anything like that?
Well, he does have his own bed and a blanket. So he is mostly covered. He has to be in a curled up, not fetal position, but like akin to that because of his size. With one wing wrapped around him. His hands are sort of like out in front if you imagine the position. He would be facing towards your bed, not the wall.
The beds are facing opposite of each other though.
The bed...
Because my bed would have been like right here.
Oh, I imagined it was like this. I see what you're doing. I see you've used the space. I understand what you did. Okay, well, if that's the case, then he is facing away from the wardrobe.
So towards the window?
Towards the window.
Okay. So then I'm going to Is there a tree outside of the window?
There is a tree outside of the window.
What kind of tree is it?
A big one.
Pine.
Okay. Oh, it's a evergreen?
Let's say. I mean, I don't think that's inherently a pine tree. Let's call it like an oak tree.
Okay, perfect. An oak tree. Can I reach out of the window and grab an oak leaf?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm
Done.
gonna leave it. Oh, is there like a side table next to the bed that
There's
sleeping in?
a table over here. In this room. He's also next to a desk here. So.
Oh no! We switched beds.
Oh, that's right. You did switch beds.
Yeah. I'm gonna move this chair so that it's right next to the bed. I'm gonna leave the oak leaf there, and then I'm gonna exit out the window to go up to the roof.
Okay. So then you leave the leaf there, and where are you heading off to?
Out this window here.
You left it on the chair, you said, right?
Oh yeah, on the chair. I moved the chair so that the chair is like right next to the bed. So
Got
it's
it.
like unmistakably left
Obvious. Aye.
there. Yeah.
Okay. So you leave the oak leaf on the chair near Morlock and make your way out onto the veranda. Not really, onto the roof.
And upon noticing that my morning companion is not on the roof with me immediately, can I see him from where I am? I'm gonna like search around along the rooftops looking for him.
That's a bit of a map question.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the map here as well. I wanna make sure we all know how far this is. So Matai itself is at most like a mile in diameter. I mean, that's probably about right. So you're standing atop the half-full cup, probably over on this edge here.
Mm-hmm.
Netto, you're still wearing all of your gear from the night before. Do you have anything that would shine in the morning light?
Plenty of metallic bits, but
Perhaps your helmet.
yeah, definitely have my shards of my helm still on my side that are a brighter color.
Because it's morning, the sun rises in the west. So yeah, I'm gonna say that Svenna, if you roll a perception for me, we'll see if you see him.
Oh, that's not bad.
Svenna, you're up on the roof and you don't see Netto anywhere on the roof, and you can kind of take a moment before you do your morning cat stretch routine and take a gander about Matai, looking across the roofs at the beautiful trees, the beginning of the hustle and bustle of the morning. Lots of people seem to be moving around, and you can see the entire market for the most part. As you look a little further out, you do see sort of a metallic glint as a person seems to be climbing on top of a building across town. You recognize it's in the direction of the guild hall, and it's hard to make out the person, but somebody's on a roof. Mostly what drew your attention was a small, glinting metallic object that seems to be hanging around their belt area.
I'm going to walk across the roof, and I'm gonna hop down into this window here, over here. Can we do this if he's not here? 'Cause like...
Rex? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Would have been...
He's not here. It's not my fault.
Rex!
I'll be playing for Rex.
Is Nymeria in the room too?
We haven't quite gotten there, so let's...
Is Nymeria in the room with us right now?
So we'll go ahead and say Nymeria, because
The
we
plan
haven't...
chat moves over to yes.
We didn't discuss this portion, but would you like to have returned to the inn and slept? You slept for most of the day, so I assume you're either here or you're awake because you slept the whole night. And maybe you already left. This is going to be up to you.
Also, can I ask something?
Mm-hmm.
If Nymeria has come back to the inn, would figuring out where the demon was be something that she would have, like, considered?
It would have been something I considered, due to the fact that our conversation lastly left off with me talking to the demon and you being really close and comfy with the demon. So, if not to find the demon, to check in on you.
Okay.
So right now, it's still the tavern, right? The question is whether or not I'm, like, awake and about or asleep in the tavern. Is that the question?
Yeah, basically, like, we had discussed you had probably returned to the tavern to sleep, right? But you also stayed up all night. I'd imagine you'd probably have woken up quite early. So it's whether or not you're in the room is really where I'm asking.
Can you remind me again where Svenna is?
Svenna would have been up in the topmost room on the map here, which technically would be Berea's room, so to speak. But you may not know that she's in there with Morlock. You don't even know where Morlock is at this point, necessarily.
To be fair, she has seen me and Svenna coming out of that room.
True. So you'd know that at least Svenna would be in that room, if not Berea.
And is Rex still in the room with me, or they were all having a sleepover, right? So they
that was the previous night. This particular night, Rex came back to the tavern on his own, had a drink, and went to bed.
in Nymeria and Rex's room.
Right. So Rex is passed out, fairly heavily drunk. He drank quite a bit after, the fight. He enjoyed it a lot.
Surprisingly ended up in his own room instead of someone else's.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
not that helpful to me for conversation.
It's still, somebody else's room too. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But yeah. So Rex is asleep. Svenna and Borea are likely in that room. You don't know where Morlock is, or Netto, for that matter.
I would have tried to probably nose around, not really try to bother people, but just try to poke around to see if I can find him on my own, if people are still seemingly asleep.
Oh, Morlock?
Yeah.
Okay.
So at most, what I would have done is go check into Borea's and Svenna's room, and not, like, fully walk in. If the demon is there, I will regretfully leave it.
Alright, for roleplay purposes and brevity, I'm going to say... Would that make sense? Yes, that would make sense. I'm going to say, Nymeria, you have been up for some time. We'll say that you have been pacing both from... in the... Well...
You have a segment you want to finish there, guys?
No, I can't. That song is so intense. No, my brain hurt. Damn, son. Love you, buddy.
Don't break character.
Damn it! I hate you. Okay.
Oh my god.
Nymeria, I will say for brevity, you have been wandering about the inn this morning. And you probably made it a point to check into the room. So I will say, for brevity, that you managed to glance in the room and see Morlock sleeping in the bed and Svenna sleeping in what is now another bed in the room for some reason. You closed the door and went about your morning. Whether or not you ended up back in your room is up to you.
I'm totally going back to my room. It's a nice, safe place where I can read in peace. And not have to think about a demon with Svenna. Probably fucking or something,
Have you
were
got a
sleeping in
demon with
separate
Berea?
beds.
Oh, I'm sure.
She doesn't
I'm
know what
sure.
happened before that.
Say that in
Exactly.
Abyssal.
They were probably fucking, but I say that in Abyssal.
Amazing. Alright, so you're back in your room. Rex is snoring loudly. Nymeria, you are now reading,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
working on your bestiary and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Maybe
All
my
right.
Ionian
4
book.
hours of meditation for a long rest.
Imagine being an elf.
Imagine. Okay then. So then what I will say is, Svenna, with all of that figured out, what are you doing exactly? Are you still going to try and make your way into the room?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop in.
Okay.
But I will try and be quiet because I'm assuming people are sleeping in there.
It's very early in the morning, so you might
Yeah.
assume that. But you also know that elves...
I also don't know that Nymeria is back in her room. 'Cause
Ah.
I would have been sleeping when she returned. So, as far as I know
It's
Rex
just
split
Rex.
off
That's fair.
and went to the room.
Absolutely. 100%. Okay, yeah. So, are you trying to enter stealthily?
Yes.
Great. Go ahead and roll stealth.
Can I side bolster knack it?
Side bolster knack is for ability checks, so yes. Ability and skill checks.
Features here.
What makes it red?
I'm about to.
You add a d6, right? Is that how that works?
Yeah, it just goes on to it.
So you got a 14.
Okay.
Okay. So. I'm going to just shuffle you over here. Svenna, you very carefully reach down from the top of the roof, manage to use your dagger to unlatch the interior hook that holds the window shut. You then use it to sort of pop the window outwards and open. And you reach down, open it completely, and do this really smooth swing down onto the ledge before you begin to crawl your way in on the desk. And as you step onto the desk and sort of see Rex, you take a look to your left and realize that Nymeria has been sitting in this corner, reading a red book, looking directly at the window the entire time this was happening. You both sort of stare at each other, and then one of you will have to speak first.
Well, this is an interesting way to start the morning. Hello, Svenna.
Good morning. Do you know where Nico is?
You would assume that he's in my room.
Oh, no, I assumed that he... Actually, that's a good point. I should have checked his room first.
Are you going to crawl through his window the same?
I guess I could.
You know, it's not my place, really, but normally in societal norms, people use doors. That's kind of what they're meant for.
Well, I was already on the roof, and from the roof it's just a little bit easier to enter through the windows.
I guess we all have our own things then.
Can we go to the guild hall today? I have some questions for that mage woman that we met.
I'm sure why not. Probably wait for Rex to wake up from his seeming hangover.
I'm gonna walk over to Rex.
Okay.
And kind of like bringing my face up to his ear because he's sleeping, and I don't know, societal norms. What are those? And I'm gonna go, "Psst, Rex."
Rex does not really stir at all. He just continues to just...
being this close to him, can I see his pretty little teeth necklace?
So he does have a very hefty, at this point, teeth necklace, and it seems to have all sorts of different kinds of teeth, all strung along. But yeah.
And okay. My curiosity is going to make me forget myself, and I'm going to reach a hand and kind of like go to look at each of the teeth individually. Not like pulling it off of his neck, but just kind of like
Taking a gander.
Yeah.
Okay.
High table question. Does wax still build up on teeth after they've been removed?
No, but I'd imagine they can probably get dirty.
Fair enough.
Nymeria, are you doing anything with this interaction before I continue?
Yeah, no, she is going to mention while Svenna is handling them, she'd be like, he hasn't told me much about it. I think it's just a weird way of trophy holding.
Like the wing?
Like the wing. He said it's a work in progress, I guess.
I'm not gonna have a real response to that.
Svenna, as you kind of check out and touch each of the teeth, they're of varying shapes and sizes. Some are long, very sharp, some are smaller and dull. You can tell that Rex has dealt with a lot of large animals or other creatures in his time. You only recognize a couple of the teeth, and that's only because you saw him rip them from the skulls, so you can kind of place where they're from. Such as the werewolf. Oh wait, no, that's still accurate. But yeah, otherwise, he hardly stirs at all. He just continues to...
Okay. Where is Zweihander?
It's Zweihander?
Yeah.
I would assume it's sort of like leaned up against the wall right here.
I want to try and pick it up.
Okay. I'll say you're pretty strong. You could probably lift it. You wouldn't want to wield it, but you could lift it. It's extremely heavy.
Can I try?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll strength.
That's a strength check?
Yep, strength check, please.
I like how you said that like a question at this point.
You need to have a plus modifier to strength.
You grip the hilt of the sword and begin to lift it. And as you do so, the sword seems to heat in your hand. At first it's a pleasant sensation, sort of warms to your touch, and you don't think too much of it, but then it gets warmer. You realize it's starting to get so hot it's going to burn you. Do you want to keep holding the sword?
Oh. I'm going to try and hold the sword until like my brain like makes me let go of it, because you know, with like hot elements and you like touch it and it's hot and then you like have that reflex,
like drop
so
it.
I'm gonna like try and like hold on to it until it's like so hot that I can't, and I like drop it.
Okay, so as you hold the sword, it began as a very slow warming sensation, but as it got to the point where like your hand is unpleasantly hot, as if you touch the top of a hot car, all of a sudden the heat spikes.
Ooh.
And it forces you to drop the sword, which clanks onto the wooden floor with a thud, just thump. Your hand is, or both of your hands, because it required both, are slightly burnt. Please take 2 points of damage.
I missed I would imagine I would have cried out from the heat.
Absolutely. Spenna, you make a kind of a cry of pain as the sword drops to the ground. And Nymeria, this entire situation has been very interesting, but you see that she cried out in pain and dropped the sword. The sword handle was red, and now it's not.
Oh, how interesting. I'm going to slowly close my book, and I'm going to get up and walk over to Svenna and walk beside her, and kind of look at her palms curiously, because you did say they're slightly burnt, right?
Mm-hmm. There'll be slight burnt marks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She kind of leans forward and she goes, "Did the sword do that?"
It burned me.
I'm gonna awkwardly take a curious glance over at Rex, look at the sword again, and I'm going to reach my hand out, not hold the sword, but kind of keep it close by. Is there any warmth coming from it?
What are you grabbing? Like just the whole
I'm
sword
not
or the
grabbing.
handle?
I'm just kind of like I'm
Like
just like kind of like
hovering?
hovering the hilt. Mm-hmm.
No, there's no warmth coming from it whatsoever.
I'm gonna look back at Svenna's hands.
They are burnt.
Yeah, and
DM.
thank you for your astute observation.
Absolutely, that's what I'm here for.
Of course. And she pauses for a moment. She's gonna look at Svenna and go, "That's a bit odd, don't you think? I have to ask about it when he wakes up."
In response to her saying we'll have to ask about it, Svenna's gonna gingerly, because her hands are hurting, but I imagine it wasn't like a second-degree burn or whatever, so... I'm going to reach around Rex and, like, grab Rex's hands to, like, investigate them to see if Rex also has burn marks.
You got experience with that?
I do now.
Don't manhandle the bull.
Svenna, so you do a reach around. I mean, you reach around Rex and kind of pull his hands out to kind of take a look at them. There's nothing wrong with his hands. They're in perfect condition.
Is he heat resistant or something?
I would assume not, considering he's an animal.
Why doesn't he also have the burn marks?
Maybe that's why we need to ask about the sword. Perhaps it's a user thing.
I'm gonna, like, pat Rex on the head, more like on the face, kind of. Just kind of like smacking my hand on him. I'm like, Rex, wake up!
So you give him, a good little little tap. He doesn't wake up. Wake up, Rex! Nothing. Kind of give him a little bit harder of a tap. Like, nothing. I don't know if anybody can hear these slaps, but I hope they're good.
Can't.
It's sad because it hurt my face.
Nymeria is gonna kind of follow up on the last thing she said. She'd be like, "I know for a fact that my swords, the magic doesn't work for others. Maybe they have magic."
Is that new rapier that you got, is that magic?
Slightly, but that's not what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about?
You know how when they do like the little fancy crystallization thing after I mutilate my own arm?
I guess.
If I hand it to somebody else, it won't hold that form. It only holds the form for me.
Oh.
So perhaps he's bonded with it somehow. But I've never heard of a heat-bonded sword before.
I'm gonna pound on Rex's chest with my fist and try and wake him up, because...
Strength check.
You're gonna miss him.
Dexterity save.
Fucking hit me. Yeah. Is it deck save for me or
No,
for...
just for Svenna.
Oh shit.
Svenna, you're really interested in the sword, and you want to know. And you go to just take like a big pounding action on Rex's chest to just, give him a little nudge to wake up. You miss the chest entirely and instead punch him in the face. Rex, completely still out, didn't even flinch, automatically returns fire and punches the air in the direction of the fist that hit him. And you do manage to, like, slip just out of the way, just barely, as you feel the air from his fist blast past your face, your hair sort of fluttering in the concussive blast. Rex sort of does a little when he rolls over and goes back to sleep.
Is he always this hard to wake up?
Well, I would assume it has something to do with the fact that he's blackout drunk.
That's rare.
But seemingly sometimes he is a bit difficult when it comes to waking up, yes?
I'm gonna...
mention-
Oh, sorry. What?
I did, well, never mind.
Sorry. I'm going to summon a psychic dagger. I'm gonna look at Nymeria. I'm gonna look at Rex. I'm gonna have kind of like a mischievous grin on my face.
I'm gonna take a step back from her. My ears are gonna kind of angle down a bit, and a bit of awkward nervousness, and I'm gonna be like, "What is that expression for?"
Well, I want to ask him about the sword.
So, what's your plan? Stab him, and then see if he's susceptible to your questions?
Let's just be a little poke.
What in your definition is a little poke?
Do you want to
Considering-
You want me to demonstrate?
I take another step back.
Oh,
On me or him?
as a point of interest, when I said demonstrate, I pointed the dagger at her.
Ooh.
Don't worry, I caught that already.
Well, if you don't volunteer, then I can just show you. And without waiting for further permission, I'm just gonna kind of slowly...
Consent is important.
Attacked so many times.
The animal cannot consent.
I'm gonna slowly just touch the tip of my dagger to his bicep.
Oh?
Not to I'm not gonna totally stab him.
You're just gonna poke him.
Yeah, I'm just gonna poke him.
Alright.
Okay. That with your finger or something, but okay.
No, I punched him in the face.
Right?
Wait, what'd you
And a
say?
giant voice screams from this guy. He's AFK.
Nymeria is gonna be like, if he jerks or moves in his sleep, your dagger might accidentally go right through his arm, right?
I'm sure he.
I'm just saying, sharp objects don't seem that safe for him.
So what we doing? You gonna poke him?
I assume I already did.
Okay. So then, just the tip of your blade slices inwards on his arm.
Also, this is a psychic blade.
Yes.
Not a blade.
Yes. Psychic blade. I got you. So the blade leaves no physical damage. However, that tiny stab is still a bit of pain and damage. Waking Rex from his slumber, Rex jerks awake, jumping almost off of the bed and right in front of you two, prepared to gore the person who hurt him as he just sort of yelps like, "Argh! What do you want?"
My hands up. Take another step back. Hold on, I can actually move in game. I fucking forgot. Take another step back and be like, she thought it'd be a good idea to stab you. I considered that you were too wasted to actually wake up, though, and considered it a bad idea.
I tried waking you up the nice way.
He's
You tried
gonna.
to punch him several times.
That was an accident.
Oh, you
Big still
really
try,
good at hitting
it's
him in
not
the
nice.
face, accident or not.
I had some questions about your sword.
What questions can I answer for you, oh stabby one?
I tried picking it up and it burnt my hands.
It burns your.
Your delicate,
It's not a
precious
hot
hands.
sword. It's gonna pick the sword up off the ground. It's gonna pull it out of it, like pull it out and sort of hold it in one hand and just be like, it's not hot.
I'm looking and like trying to see if the handle like glows red again and like is
Your perception's high.
sniffing for
So-
burned flesh.
So I will say that you are looking for any sort of reaction to Rex and not getting a single one. Like,
Can I
Mhm.
Can I make an Arcana check towards the sword just to see if I get any magic vibes from it?
Damn, if only someone in the party had
Yeah,
Identify.
you could do that. I know, right?
Well,
Crazy.
if someone wasn't at Lephia's,
That's amazing. If only you were prominent at the tavern.
I said burning flesh.
definitely heard.
Sniffing for flesh. Yeah, so Nymeria, you kind of take a closer look at the sword. You've not actually looked very hard at it before. It just looked like a regular sword, and it still does. Like, it doesn't look magical in the sense that it can be identified. It just looks like a regular sword, a regular Zweihander.
In Svena's defense, after she touched it, it was red.
Oh, I'm gonna
And-
hold up my hands to Rex so that he can see my little burn marks.
Your little burn marks.
Look at my boo boo.
Little burn marks on her delicate little hands. They're so little.
So, you hold up your hands, and Rex kind of looks at them. He's like, looks at the sword, looks back at them. He's like, and you want me to believe that the sword burned you?
I tried again, but
A
I
lot
don't
of
wanna hurt
odd
myself.
weapons in our party.
He's like, okay. He's gonna hold the sword out for one of you to take. It's like, go ahead. Take it.
I'm gonna back away from it. Take another
I look at
step
you
back.
suspiciously for the fact that that kind of prompts me to have to take it, and you're an ass for doing that.
No, my hands are already burned.
That sucks. Burn him again. You're already immune.
No,
The
it's your
nerve
turn.
damage can't be more damaged. I am going to kind of sigh. And I'm going to take a step forward, outreach my hand, and almost gingerly grab it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Are you picking it up, like from him?
I'm gonna keep my hand there for a good second before I try to like actually pick it up.
Okay. As you touch the hilt of the blade, the handle, it does warm just a little bit, not just barely perceptibly at all.
To curiously take it and roll shit on my stealth check. Thank you. I mean,
You-
my stealth, my strength.
Your strength, please. Wow, that's pretty solid.
yeah.
All right. So, Nymeria, as you take the sword, it's incredibly heavy, and you have a hard time holding it up, but you manage to do so, lifting it very like, big sword fighter, the blade held out in front of you. As you're holding it, Rex takes a quick step forward and throws an unarmed attack at Svenna.
Ugh. I can't dodge it?
Technically it counts as combat, so if it hits, it hits.
Wait, I zoned out for 1 second. Why is she getting punched?
I have Uncanny Dodge.
You can run that.
You can use your reaction to have the attack's damage against you. So I just take half damage?
Yep, take half damage. As he throws after he throws the punch and punches you, he's also going for the head. He's gonna be like, "That's for punching me earlier."
Oh, you were awake?
No, but I feel it.
Ouch. Where exactly did he punch me?
Just like the side of the face.
Okay, I'm gonna be like nursing my wound, kind of like rubbing my face. I guess I
Nymeria.
deserved that one.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, that is me.
Nymeria, you've been holding the sword for a couple of seconds now. 6, in fact,
Yeah.
because round of combat.
6 whole seconds.
And you feel the very same sensations that Svenna did. The sword begins at a calm, warm. It starts to get a little hotter. A little hotter. Is there anything
frozen
you...
right? Frozen right to cool it down?
Really? Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and cast
Actually,
it.
no. Wait, hold on. Let me think about that for a minute. How can I wait till it gets to like almost unbearable hot before I curiously try it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, after probably about the 3 to 4 second mark, it goes from like on the edge of like it's going to burn you. Is that where you want to cast it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go get my thingy thing. The thingy thing.
Yeah, get the
Where's my
thingy thing.
Oh, blame.
I can't find my thingy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can I take my long rest and then reapply my damage?
Absolutely, because you did not do so before. Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Okay.
I take 4 damage.
You
That's
sure
necrotic. Yay!
Isn't that the best? All right, and now you're casting
My
Frozen, yeah.
frozen right. Yep.
Okay. You're
Imagine
frozen.
using your blood to cool things.
I like it.
It's not my fault that you don't have chemocraft magic. You're just a paladin.
You don't know that I don't.
Oh,
You're right. Your head has hit that door so many times in search for food. I'm sure your blood has done something.
It's Hemocraft something.
Can you put it in the chat? Because I don't see it. I see chill touch. But that's
Oh, the crimson right?
No, you did crimson right, but you were saying frozen right, and I'm looking for it.
So, crimson right is my frozen right, so I can use either fire or ice. I just have to dictate which one I want to use.
I see. Attacks you make with this magic, so it's a specific weapon? You're doing it to the sword itself?
I'm doing it to the sword itself.
So you cut yourself with the sword?
Yes.
Ah. Interesting.
What is his first day, DM?
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking she'd cut herself. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So, you managed to finagle this enormous blade into a position where you can cut yourself, casting your Crimson Right and imbuing the blade, which is almost unbearable to touch, with the power of frost. The blade cools and then warms back up again and then cools, and it seems to be struggling to get enough heat out to hurt you, but it never fully gets frozen and it never fully gets hot. It just maintains like
pulsating.
this, like this bouncing temperature.
Does the blade, is it dripping probably from the ice melting?
Well, the frost
Or
would
would there
be
be like a small? Yeah, okay. Would there
Yeah.
be like a small bit of steam though from it, like melting and then,
I would say because the ice continues to like cover the blade, and then it would heat up. It would never actually melt. So yeah, I would just say you have like a steam blade at this point.
Awesome. So I am. Are they like still paying attention to each other right now?
I wanted to say that I want to like point or like take Rex's attention and be like, look.
Like look.
At Nymeria.
Oh.
Like look at
my
your
bad.
sword.
So he takes a look over at the sword and sees the steam rising from the blade, and it seems to ice over, and the moment it ices over, it just seems to melt and steam up into the air. The room is becoming very humidified, by the way.
I am gonna kind of give like a nervous smile over to Svenna and be like, I guess I can make sense of how your hands got burned now.
So you believe me?
Well, I can barely keep it cold.
Rex, take your sword back.
Rex is going to tentatively look at the sword, look between the two of you, look back at the sword. He's going to grab the sword out of your hands, Nymeria.
So the right would immediately drop because of that.
Okay. As he grabs the sword, the ice, the last burst of ice seems to steam away. The sword, as it transferred to Rex, was glowing with a reddish light, but then it becomes normalized again, being a regular looking steelish sword. Rex does not flinch, looks down at his hands, and they look completely unburned. Huh. That's weird.
Well, noted. Don't touch the sword. And I'm gonna start walking over towards the doorway. So
I'm gonna kind of flex my hand a little bit just to kind of get the feeling away of them being warm and then cold and then warm and then cold, because that's probably fucking weird. And
That would
I
be a
am
little
going
odd,
to, yeah. I'm gonna walk out with Svenna because I don't want to fuck with it anymore. Also,
Helps if you open that. Yeah.
so Rex, I wanted to go to the guild hall after we find Neto.
Where is Neto?
He wasn't on the roof this morning.
These
Come on.
nuts.
You can check his room on
Got
the
him. Got him.
Yeah, you do that. I'm gonna go get something to drink. Hey, where's that demon thing that's been following you around? Where's Morlock? Where's my buddy?
it's in the Ryze room.
Rhea's room. I thought that was your thing, Svenna.
What?
They share a room.
Oh,
Ah.
so he said that in character, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I don't necessarily have a different voice for Rex because it's just his normal voice.
Rhea slept over at the ogre camp.
I thought the ogres were your thing too.
Well,
Oh,
she
no,
needed a place
great.
that was big enough for Ignatia.
Oh yeah, we got a dragon now.
We have a dragon.
Morlock, let's go.
No, wait, hold on, back it up. Wait, no, we have a dragon.
Oh yeah, did they not tell
Svenna.
you?
No,
Uh,
not me anything. I just got back.
It's just better if you see it.
What the fuck does that mean?
Let's go, Morlock. And he's gonna wander off. Morlock is now awake and starting to stir.
I'm gonna stand next to the bed.
I'm gonna wait for Svenna by her room.
Svenna, as you stand next to the bed, Morlock has awoken to the shouting of his new best bud, Rex. And sort of looks up at you and attempts, he sort of like does this like, and he tries to speak one of the few words that he has learned in common, and he says, "Hello."
I'll cast Psychic Whispers for him.
Just on him and you?
I will include Nymeria in it. Even though, well, she's behind me.
Yeah, I'm hanging out by your room,
Yeah,
just kind of waiting.
It's nearby.
And so, with Psychic Whispers, I think you have to be in my field of vision.
I'm in the door.
I'm not clear of
But
that,
if I'm like looking down at Morlock and you're behind me, I can't see you.
You don't have good peripheral vision. You can't see things slightly behind you. I didn't know that you were that kind of person.
One or
That's
more
okay.
creatures you can see. Yep.
I'll step in. Don't worry.
I mean, if you're standing like in my peripheral vision,
I'd say
then I
that
can
like
see you.
this is a reasonable spot to be. I would say that that's fine. I'm not really too concerned. It's more like if you're, way the fuck over here, I'm not gonna count that.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'm in a different village right now. Can't see me.
Yay!
You get 7 hours with this guy.
Hey. Now I'm included. That's him and her. 7 hours with them.
With them. Ooh, spicy.
In common and telepathically, I'll be like, "Good morning." I'll give him a smile.
Good morning. And he is going to try and do the smile you were practicing with him. It's going to come out mediocre. It's still slightly terrifying as he tries to smile without showing his incredibly sharp rows of teeth. But, like, they still come through a bit.
I'm gonna give a slight disgusted look.
It's like a grimace. Like, ugh.
I'm gonna stare at it for half a second, and then I'm going to try and rearrange it again, like I did the night before.
Okay.
The fact that you are so comfortably touching his face right now is incredibly concerning.
I'm gonna ignore her comment.
So you rearrange Morlock's face to the point where it's now in a more acceptable smile. Morlock sort of feels like he's taking note of how his face is being rearranged so he can try and reenact that later.
I'm gonna kind of like pivot. I'm gonna point with one hand at Morlock's face, and I'm gonna point with the other hand at Nymeria, and I'm gonna be like, "Look."
Morlock.
Some curiosity in this, and my disgusted face turns into more of like interested, but still kind of cautious and what the fuck. And she'd be like, "You know what? I'll give it to you. I've never seen a demon do that."
And I'm gonna beam at that comment.
Morlock is going to lean just so he's a little bit past Svenna and try and redo the smile that you just reconfigured on his face.
Uh-oh.
It's fairly successful. Like, it's the best smile you've seen. It's not great, but it's not terrifying.
I'm just gonna start walking out the door, because I'm assuming Morlock is gonna follow me.
Morlock kind of lumbers out of the bed, does a stretch, kind of puts his one wing out, and like gives it a nice little like. And begins to walk out behind you. And then the door fights began.
I would never. No, it's just because I didn't get to do it last session. I couldn't fuck with any doors. I'm just getting it out of my.
Okay, I'm waiting for Nymeria to leave. I'm following her.
Solved.
Wow.
So, all right. As you guys make your way down, we'll do some brevity here. I don't want to take too much time here in the good old tavern since not everyone's here.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you'd like to do other than head to the guild hall?
And breakfast. Breakfast to go, please, Tracy.
Trixie?
Tracy.
Tracy.
Trickster?
Trickster. Yeah.
Yeah. That food. Nope, that's Barry. That's Barry. Hang on. You got the stuff. Yeah, got the stuff with the stuff and the things. Yeah, okay, everybody. Yeah,
oh my
I get
God,
you
that's
to
like
breakfast.
so cool.
Absolutely, we's gonna get you to breakfast. God, it's got so many things to do and accents is hard to do sometimes, you know. But anyways, yeah. So she gets breakfast. She just gives you some wooden plates to take. I don't think she cares too much. So you guys begin making your way off to the guild hall then.
Aye.
All right. We'll go ahead and take a short 5 to 10 minute break here. This will be our about halfway point.
Halfway.
Well, give or take. We got a little bit more time than that. It'll be a
Halfway
longer
to
end.
The session?
Yeah. I put a note in the Discord. Yeah.
Oh.
Bro, I didn't see that. I wouldn't have taken so long if I'd been.
Oh no, that's fine. I got other plans. We're good. But yeah, we'll do a quick break. We'll be back in 5 to 10 to continue. We probably shouldn't take any more breaks after that until we finish. So yeah, we'll see you guys here in a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, Blaine.
Just wait till she
What
comes
does,
back and then tell the joke, because it's even better that way.
Do you know what's more amazing than a talking?
All right, yeah.
More amazing than a talking dog?
What's that?
A spelling bee.
Fuck you. That's awful. I love it.
I thought it was gonna be a sun joke.
No, it's basically not.
Oh.
There's so much sadness in that statement.
I like the themed joke.
Usually, to the setting of the episode, however. I got one more if you want it.
That's fair.
Okay. So, coming back in, the, this half of the party, I should say, has taken their to-go plates from Tracy at the half-full cup and begun their trek across the town of Matai, through the market, past the trickster and the flagon to the guild hall.
I wish to see them coming.
That's what she said.
What is your perception, sir? Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're still on the roof at this point. It is still early in the morning.
See me when I walked into the guild hall then, earlier?
Yeah, that would actually make sense. So
I'm
yeah.
walking in with a dragon.
So then we're gonna go ahead and say, Neto, that you saw Borea and Ignatia approaching the entry to the guild hall and heard them knock on the door. Were you interested in engaging? Yeah, the whole guild hall. Whole guild hall.
I thought I was in the reception. Okay, yeah.
No.
Waiting outside then.
No,
So,
you're
yeah,
waiting
same
outside.
thing.
Yeah, sorry. Where the hell? There you are. Gotta go find your token. You're always so far away for some reason. Alright, so this is our representation of the guild hall for now. So
There was
Berea,
actually a guild hall map, though, isn't there?
it went unfinished, and then I sent more or less the file as corrupted, so I have to restart it. I'm very sad, but that's okay. It's more fun for me.
Okay.
Neto, did you want to engage with them or no?
Well, I assume that Berea is just entertaining this giant lizard in their downtime. I want to, without getting up from my nice and seated tip of the roof, I want to do my best to kind of like overhand lob some bread bits and breakfast extras towards both of them.
All right. So you're sitting on the peak of the roof, like the highest point you can get to, basking in that morning sunlight glow. You have a big old loaf of bread, and you've been enjoying yourself up here. You see them approaching. You hear the dunk 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 as they knock on the door, and you kind of hear some shuffling as there's a bench there they get sat upon, and they stop. You start tear off just a little chunk of bread, and just sort of like whoop, kind of toss it. Hits the edge of the roof, bounces onto the ground just outside the guild hall. Berea, you and Ignatia are just sitting there waiting, and all of a sudden you just see a hunk of bread drop from the sky, landing on the ground in front of you.
Definitely just gonna like pause whatever she was doing with Ignatia, look around, eventually look up, and just look very confused altogether.
Another piece follows, and another piece. So you...
I can tell it's coming from the roof, I'm guessing.
Right, yeah. At this point it's
Like, if
fairly
I looked
obvious.
up, yeah, she would like stand up, walk forward a bit, and try and look on the roof.
As you look up on the roof, you do see Neto sitting up there on the very peak, tearing off another piece of bread, getting ready to chuck it.
Just
Why are
hold the
you
whole-
throwing food?
Hold the whole loaf up and just kind of like wave. How loud are you yelling that at me?
Yelling at. So you. How far away are you? I thought you were on the roof.
Yeah, on the top of the roof.
Not that far. I mean,
Yeah.
the roof is probably like
Yeah, he can hear me if I'm yelling, right? Like she's not
Yeah.
gonna scream.
yeah, just like a little
but-
loudly. You're talking firmly, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just kind of just like hold up the bread, wave it back and forth, and be like, breakfast! Throw the extra piece that I had in my other hand down towards
You
the food.
usually eat it, not throw it.
But share!
I'm good.
And then look over towards the other friend.
Ignatia tries to catch one of those lobs of bread before it hits the ground and misses terribly.
Aww.
And so I'll look back at Berea and just kind of like still hold the bread forward as if to offer it.
Ignatia, did you want it bread?
Yeah. And Ignatia is now climbing on the roof, scurrying up very quickly.
Very nice plus.
Yeah. Ignatia gets onto the roof with a very simple little launch forward, grapples on the edge of the roof, and you can hear the skittering as her claws sort of scrape along the tiles up there. And she reaches up next to you, Neto. Not quite close enough for you to touch or interact with, but close enough to like easily catch some bread if you were to throw it.
Yeah, and exactly that. Rip it like in much larger chunks in this case, but kind of just like do an underhand toss, well within personal space to giant lizard.
Yep. So giant lizard just sees you toss the bread, immediately just goes, grabs it out of the air, swallows it almost whole. Kind of waits to see if you're gonna throw any more.
Definitely gonna take a second to like kind of stand and face Dragon and kind of like hold it up all the way to see and not like give command of sit, but like see if automatically sit if I hold it up high enough.
Ignatia does not do any more movement other than following the bread and you with her eyes. Just sort of waiting to see what you're gonna do with that.
And you seeing that wouldn't fail, I'd ask him like, can you sit?
And you're gonna get the squinty eyes. I don't know how well a lizard can do squinty eyes. But yeah, the dragon's gonna just sort of like give you this like, you can tell it's a look of bread. Give bread.
Yeah, but you gotta do the
Give
thing.
bread.
You gotta do the thing. Still holding it well above my head.
She is going to come up and try and knock you over without causing damage. Roll a dexterity save.
Can I counter with a strength?
Yeah, if you want to
Just
catch
go
the
with-
tail, sure.
Oh, yeah, I was going with more just like completely stand into it, not move.
Oh, okay, yeah. Roll a strength, yeah. That's fine. Okay. Ignatia does this like quick tail whip sort of action, smashing into the side of your legs, expecting you to collapse. And instead the tail just bounces right off, doing no damage to either of you, but more of a surprise for Ignatia. As she, doesn't have that happen often.
A solid frown, like, no, what? Sit!
No!
But food
No!
for
And
trick.
She's gonna just scurry off the roof now.
So it is an intelligent creature. Most likely more intelligent than you.
What? You can't just give rewards.
Okay. And she's gonna go sit down and give it whatever ration she has. And she's gonna eat some herself, because I haven't eaten right. No, I haven't
No, Ignatia has gone around the back of the building,
Oh,
and
it's
she
gone
is
around the
now out
back?
of
Okay.
sight.
Oh
She's
shit.
gonna go eat herself then. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna go find the dragon. I'd already said it, and I was like, oh, I can just do that without the dragon. And I was like, oh no, I'm obviously gonna go find the dragon.
Yeah, Neto's gonna reseat himself and continue to eat his bread.
All right. So, Berea, you're traveling around the back of the building, and you do happen to see just the edges of the wingspan and tail as it climbs up the back of the roof.
So it
Neto,
jumps off the roof to climb up the roof?
like it went around the building and climbed up the back of the building behind Neto.
Oh, okay.
Neto, unfortunately, you do not hear Ignatia approaching.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, bread.
As she leaps through the air right past you and attempts to snap the bread out of your hand. This one actually would have to be a dexterity because this is a reaction.
Save?
Save, yeah. Oof. Ignatia flies through the air, and as you you have this like sixth sense with food, and you realize someone's gonna try and take your food. You immediately pull the bread in close to your chest, and Ignatia flies past on your right, snapping in the air where your bread just was, before like sort of tumbling across the roof and falling off the edge. There's a lot of thumping that happened, so anybody who was asleep is no longer.
Just imagine Ford walking around one corner to hear the thumping off the side she
ran
was.
around to go follow it, and then it ran off the other side. Like, you just hear a sigh from Berea behind you, and then she makes her way around the other side.
Neto's just kind of still just like look over towards the side that kind of lizard rolled over and just kind of just like peer, not to see it all the way. Just be like, do you want to do the trick now?
No!
Gotta
You
sit.
mean no give food?
No, I give food when sit.
No. No sit.
No food.
You're gonna see the dragon sort of get extremely angry with you because you're not sharing, and starts to get into like an attack position. If you imagine like a panther or something preparing to leap, it's down on the ground on the ground, so it'd have to leap up onto the roof. But yeah.
Am I around the other side yet, or am I still walking?
At this point, you probably just come around the front again, and you see Ignatia prepared to pounce.
She's just gonna mumble her to herself for real sake, and then she's gonna keep walking towards it and be like, Ignatia, I will give you food. Ignore him.
Food?
I'll go ahead and rip the bread in half and just kind of like hold it up to the edge though. Because in Neto's eyes,
You know you can't beat this dragon on your own, and Berea is not gonna help you.
No, but the pounce is close enough to sitting.
So you're holding it at the edge of the roof?
just within sight. Like he'll kind of like stand up and take like the 2 steps forward to the edge of the roof. That if it made a pounce up the side of the roof, it could catch it without having to climb up.
So you're just holding it out for it to take, and you're not throwing it, to be
Yeah.
clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It stares up at the bread. Kind of looks between you and the bread. Looks at Berea, looks at you and the bread. It leaps up faster than you expected, snaps the bread out of your hand, and scurries back down onto the ground before, like, devouring the piece of bread. Or hunk.
I give it a curt little like triple clap and just like good job, good job.
It just eyeballs you unhappily. And then it heads over to Berea with the bread and sort of like kind of looks up at Berea. It's like, meh.
You did very well. Congratulations.
Neto's going up and over the other side of the roof, back to the backside to come down.
So as you, Berea, as you and Ignatia are standing in the front, the door opens. the door to the actual guild hall opens up. Lephia is standing there in front of you, and she just sort of says, "Well, hello, dear. You're here early."
Yes, I have something I need to speak with you about.
Wonderful. Why don't you come in?
She doesn't comment on the dragon? Okay, yeah, I'll go in then.
Yeah, she would. She would.
Well.
She would comment on the dragon. Sort of look at it and be like, "Why do you have that, dear?"
I told you I had something I need to talk to you about.
Is it?
Yes, it's dragon related.
Okay, yeah. Great. Great to hear. It's not going to burn the place down, right?
It depends on how the talk goes.
We'll have to hope it goes well. I would hate for anything to happen.
Would be
That's-
unfortunate.
Yeah.
As you guys, well, as you start to walk in, you do hear the remaining party members coming up the road. And at this
Curiosity.
point, yeah,
She entered the guild hall actual.
Yeah.
you're,
Is attached to the back end of the
yeah, it's all like one area. So she must have at some point made her way into the guild hall.
guild. Neto's going back to Lephia's actual house.
Okay. Are you going in the
Yes.
back of Lephia's house or the
Yes.
front? Okay.
Well, that's the point. The back of the guild hall, Lephia's house.
Right. Yeah. So then, Neto, you've made your way into the back of, well, into Lephia's home, essentially.
Foyer and or kitchen.
Yes. The table is still set, all prim and proper. It doesn't look like anybody used it, but you do see Ryze exiting the bedroom, fully dressed in his normal Ryze attire.
So not very well dressed.
Exactly.
He just sort of says, "Ow, hello."
Just kind of give that motion towards the table. Bethis?
Yeah? Eating is good. What do you got?
Going to walk and sit down at the table and breakfast. Grabs another thing of bread. Start to munch.
Just a lot of bread.
Protein, my dude.
Mm-hmm. Ryze does a little spin with his hand, creates a tiny little portal, and a little portal appears right next to the bread that you're holding. It's a fairly long loaf, I would imagine. You do have a moment to react if you like, as he reaches through and tries to grab a portion of the bread and break it off.
More going with the bits that were already on the table set is what Ned will grab.
Okay. Well, then he uses the portal to sort of grab a big chunk of it. And pulls it back into the portal. Begins to munch on it as he makes his way past you and into the guild hall proper. Come on, let's go, Neto. We have things to discuss.
Yeah. Hey, unseats himself and follows.
Yeah. So, we'll go ahead and do this now. Oh, I closed it. Shad.
Chad?
Bad one. No, not Shad. I said
Ooh.
Saged.
Is this Lephia's office?
This is what I'd imagine it to be like. Not exactly, but it's the
Didn't Lephia's office have a
closer.
map?
About that.
We did talk about that. That map got corrupted.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the whole guild hall map. Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
the
there was
same
two
map.
different ones.
It's the same map. But that being said, I've changed the layout of the guild hall at this point, so I would have had to redo what I had done.
Tangent, plane.
Aye,
2 requests flying in.
but I just did those.
Okay, let's start checking.
Yeah, I need to be able to mark them. I don't know where to mark them at.
I do it for you. I'm just making
Oh,
sure
you're
you
so cool. Thanks for the hydrate and the posture check. Cheers. Hydrating is important with all the talking I do. So anyway, guys, all of you sort of shuffle into Lephia's office, and it's almost a
Including
bit
the dragon?
crowded, including the dragon. You have Lephia, Ryze, the dragon, Morlock, Svenna, Nymeria, Berea, Rex, and Netto. It's
A
a
lot.
busy. Yeah, Morlock.
Yeah, we ended up meeting up with you guys as you were entering.
Yeah, as we were all walking through, I'd be asking the others, like, what are you doing here?
Looking for Neto and wanting to speak with Lephia.
Where's the good morning?
What did you want to speak to her about?
Well, the ogres are going to need to have a place to stay in the village, in the town, so I have to make sure that gets set up.
Fair enough.
Morning. Smile. Just kind of crossing
Good
the way.
morning, Neto! I was looking for you.
Yeah. Just enjoying some breakfast.
Me too.
What'd you have?
Bacon, bread, meat, whatever else Tracy ended up putting on our plates. She let us take it to go. And I'm gonna hold up my empty plate.
As you guys all get into said office, there are not enough chairs around for all of you, so most of you
Alright,
end up
definitely took
standing.
a chair.
Absolutely. So there's like
I'm gonna stand behind Berea.
there'd be
That
2
looks
chairs in front of Lephia's desk.
Is there a side table or a desk that I can sit on?
Yeah, so this is very roomy in this picture. While it does sort of capture the ambiance of the room is much more cluttered and it has a lot more furniture. So there'll be tiny tables, bookshelves, all in the room, all over the place.
I'm gonna Assassin's Creed perch on one of the side tables or something.
Meadows
Okay.
just
Assassin's
gonna-
Creed Svenna, I want to draw that.
Meadows gonna
Which
start
game do you want to be in?
thumbing and bopping about the books. Not necessarily picking them up, but just kind of like tapping along the spines and pulling on it a little bit to look at the cover, putting them back.
Lephia is watching you very intently and just sort of rolls her eyes as she addresses the group. Berea is sitting in front. Nymeria is behind Berea. Rex would probably be standing near the desk. I can't imagine he wouldn't be.
I'm leaning against a wall at the door frame or something.
Yeah, something like that. So
Becoming one with the...
he'll be in the back of the room leaning against the wall. That makes sense to me. Spenna's perched on a side table with Morlock nearby. And most of the open space in the center of the room is filled up by Ignatia. Netto, where are you? You said you were touching the books. Right. So you're
Along
walking
the
around.
bookshelf.
Yeah. Lephia clears her throat and gathers all of your attention. She says, well, it's wonderful to have you all here again, and I'm not sure that we really got to meet properly. And she extends a hand out towards you, Svenna, and says, hello, dear. What was your name again?
I'm gonna kind of narrow my eyes at her and be like, Svenna.
Svenna. What an exotic name.
I'm gonna flinch when she says that.
Did you take her hand?
No.
She retracts
Because
it.
I'm assuming that I was across the room from the desk.
Oh, I thought you were like right next to it. That's my
Oh, no, no.
apologies.
I was thinking I'd be on like the other side, like behind everybody else, on
Oh,
like one of the
I
side
see.
tables up against the
I
wall or
see.
something.
Okay. My apologies. I misunderstood then. So then, no hand was extended at all.
Okay.
She says, "Wonderful to have you here. How did you come across this group of interesting individuals?"
Well, I was looking for your town, Matai, and I ended up taking a wrong turn and met up with the cultists' village. They kidnapped me, and your party here ended up saving me, and I've been traveling with them ever since.
Well, isn't that a wonderful story? And they even brought most of them back to Matai. It's amazing. They've just been incorporated so easily.
About that, we ended up picking up some ogres on the way as well.
Oh, yes. Yes.
They are also going to be needing permanent placement within the town.
It is something that I have discussed with Subra and Barry individually. As you know, Barry has taken over the position of Captain of the Guard here in Matai. That is in no small part thanks to you and your group's efforts to befriend him. Of course, the town seems to very much enjoy your presence, and so do we, of course. The ogres will be offered amnesty. In fact, we have already commissioned uniforms for them and offered the position of the Massive Guard. We have a very specific group, or the Massive Brigade, I apologize. I wanted to make sure I got that name right. The ogres will act as defense and guards against oncoming forces, maybe perhaps not day-to-day activities throughout the town, but they'll be known as the Massive Brigade, and any problems that cannot be handled by our normal town guard, they will be called upon. The arrangement works well. They receive shelter, food, resources, a place to stay within our walls, and we receive protection. It's very beneficial, so thank you for bringing them with you.
Sven is gonna beam satisfied and kind of crisscross sit down on the desk that she's already on and give Lephia a nod.
Wonderful. Now, everyone here, I understand we've had some issues with communication. There's been a lot of upsets here in Matai since before and during your stay in our town. I would like to rectify those and make sure you get paid for your efforts. I believe that we had quite a bit of money set aside to pay you for defending the portal opening, as well as other activities that we had you take care of. And I would like to offer the party 1,500 gold as compensation for all of those efforts. It's a bit more than we had agreed upon, but I feel that since you had to wait for payment, that should be more than enough. It's up to you all to disperse that amongst yourselves.
I would also like to, in this moment, remember that I still have the payment for everybody from the little underground adventure we did. Mm-hmm. And she's going to rummage around in her bag. She'll be like, that reminds me, this is for everyone else as well. And I'm going to individually lay out the money for everybody. Like, toss it over to everybody else.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How much was that?
It's 15 gold apiece.
Yay!
To each?
Yep.
Okay.
And
So
then
you're tossing?
toss.
So it'll be current GP plus 15 GP?
Mm-hmm.
And then however you guys want to divide that 1,500.
Do we plan to split the money evenly, or?
I
Well-
mean, we could always have somebody hold on to it.
Like a bank?
I mean, having one designated person would keep it easier to have as a whole.
I think I could do that.
In the background, you just hear musical
skeptically-
sheep.
I'm going to
My intentions
look at
quiet.
Maria, and I'm going to be like, I was actually going to volunteer myself.
I don't think you're that trustworthy for the job.
You keep trying to buy things from that
Spicy.
shitty marketplace.
Don't worry about it. Lephia, I'll take it, thank you.
I'm going to step in front of the bitch who's sitting, mind you, and I'm going to walk
Oh
over
no,
to Lephia.
if you try to step, we're just gonna like hold her staff out to the side in front of you.
I'm going to give you a side glare. I'm going to try and hold your staff and move it away from me.
Ooh.
And I'm going to respond to you. I'm going to be like, now, Berea, I don't think now is the time to be childish.
Really? I'm the one who's childish.
You want the money to go pay for sheep.
I don't want a sheep.
You
What
don't
would
want
you
a
buy
sheep.
with it? Books? You already have thousands.
I don't need more books. That's why I said I'd be a better treasurer than you would.
I think I would.
You're an impulsive buyer.
What was the last thing I bought?
Well, you didn't have to buy something because I was able to bargain for it, but my point still stands.
The point still stands.
You're
I
more
haven't bought anything for like 2 months.
Oh, a whole
Clearly,
2
I'm-
months.
Yeah.
What about the other 4?
At this point,
Well,
Ryze
well,
is standing behind Lephia and is like, "Are they always like this?" Yes, they are. Oh, are you done now?
It would be easier
I
to
wasn't
give
sure
it
if
to
it
me.
was continuing. She pauses a lot. Sorry,
I know
didn't
she does.
hear you
I
go.
apologize.
Do you get what you say?
Oh, I said, Lephia, I do believe it would be more sane to give it to me instead of her.
I do believe I'm a much more trustworthy person than Nymeria, considering no one even knows where she was last night.
Yeah, where were you?
Rage smiles back at Nymeria.
I'm gonna give her a pretty solid glare for that. I was venturing the town.
You missed an entire fighting pit.
Yeah, I realize. Had I been aware that you guys were going to do that, I might have been more inclined not to take my venture that night.
As we're having this conversation, can I step forward to Lephia and try and put my hand out for the money?
I'm going to put my hand on your shoulder.
No, you were having a conversation.
I mean, she can
Doesn't mean I
still
can't pay attention to
she
you.
can still pay attention.
I'm just gonna try and ignore her hand.
I'm gonna point to Rex.
It was
Um,
him!
and
Mhm.
I'm gonna be explaining this to Nymeria. Well, we ended up fighting some werewolves, and during the fight, I think Rex got bitten.
He got bitten by a werewolf.
Oh yeah, a big one. It was a different color from the rest as well.
Yeah, that would hurt.
So what you're telling me is we have to worry about lycanthropy now.
See, you have too many concerns on your plate. Let me handle the money.
You don't concern about anything. Maybe you should be more alert. Let me handle the money.
I think I should handle the money. I'm more capable of defending myself.
Perhaps neither of you should handle the money.
Okay, well, at least don't let it be Netto.
Please, anyone but
Huh?
Neto.
What?
Yes, dears, that makes sense. Svenna, perhaps?
No, not Svenna either.
Please, not Svenna.
Would you rather the
With how often
bull?
she jumps around on Ruse, it would just fall out of her pockets.
Does the
I have a
town
better
not have
idea.
a bank?
The town does not have a bank.
Okay, how about
There's-
a different suggestion?
Well,
How about we
bank,
split the money between me and Berea?
there's a riverbank right outside of town. What are you
60-40
talking
I'll agree
about?
to.
Oh, I
Oh,
suppose
fine,
Neto's
then.
right.
What
Yes.
position do you think you are to be able to bargain like that?
I think I'm the one sitting in a chair.
Yeah, and your peasantries show me that you're more below than you are when you're sitting. 50-50.
Fine.
Lephia,
Glad that it's
Yes,
settled.
dear.
do you have a tailor in town?
Of course, we have every sort of place in town.
Oh, speaking of, do you have, my brain said, a leather worker kind of thing?
Of course.
How much
Where
will
would
the
that
cake
be?
cost?
Well, now you'll have to take turns.
Where would that be?
The place that you're looking for would be the Nimble Needle. They do all the sewing and leather working you could possibly need. They're just nearby the Trickster and the Flagon.
Is that where I can get a cape as well?
Absolutely. They have plenty of pre-made capes, although for your size they may have to hem it up a bit.
I'm gonna point to Morlock and I'm gonna be like, what's about for him?
She's gonna look at Morlock. Gonna look
Who's
back
my
at you
goblin?
guys.
I'm gonna
Oh my
nudge
God,
Morlock with
these
my
nuts.
shoulder and like kind of smile at him.
I did mean to ask about your friend. Is that the same?
Yes.
Wasn't he attacking you?
Not anymore.
Oh.
There's been some misunderstandings.
Interesting. You seem to have accumulated more members to this group. She looks at the dragon as well and is sort of like, and do you speak, little one?
Oh shit, wait, the dragon is in the room right
The
now.
dragon
right?
is in the
The
room, yeah.
dragon's taking up like all of the room, yeah.
I do want to say that I've been eyeing that thing very cautiously the entire time as well. The only time I haven't been eyeing it is when I was in a heated bickering competition with Berea.
You would never win.
I think we did win. We both won. 50-50.
Yeah, I didn't like how it turned out.
Yeah, well, that's your problem.
The bag of money is still sitting on the desk. Nobody has touched it, and Lephia is
I am
sort
going
of...
to move forward.
If
I'm
she
going
goes to grab it, I'm gonna grab it. I'm closer to the table.
Lephia has reached forward and sort of pulled the bag backwards a little bit.
Nymeria is going to politely be like, would you mind splitting that for us?
She's just gonna pass it to Ryze, and Ryze is gonna like start clinking stuff behind her.
Speaking of, who is
I
this
am
man?
going to, yeah, I'm going to look to Ryze and be like, I was going to ask the same question.
Well, it seems we all have new friends. Although this one I've known a long time. Now,
It's not really a new friend then.
Does Berea actually say that?
He mumbles it, yeah.
I'm gonna kill.
I'm sorry, Berea. What was that? I wouldn't want to interrupt.
Oh, it's nothing. Please continue your explanation.
Absolutely. Thank you. This is Ryze. He's an old friend of mine from an entirely different world, and in fact, it's the same world that your friend Neto came from.
Neto?
Wait. Huh?
Looks to Neto.
Looks to
Did he
Lephia.
fall from the sky too?
Andy, they told you this last session.
Hmm?
Well, I mean, for sure, but like,
But it's
he
Neto.
still thinks he comes from the sky.
Oh, okay.
It's all the same world. There's not multiple.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, Neto, you fell from the sky through a portal. Do you remember? Through a
Yes,
rift?
that was a fun ride.
And where were you before that?
I was home
And where is home?
on the mountain.
Yes, the mountain Targon.
Yeah, with my family.
Yeah. Well, Ryze comes from a place near Targon. He's a neighbor, if you will.
I mean, okay. My neighbors were the Johns, and they had the little daughter, but I didn't see him before. How? Okay.
So then, what is he doing here?
Well, I'm glad that you asked. I've been told by Lephia that you're a capable group, and that you've actually had a run-in with an entity named Mordekaiser.
My hand
We've
is going
heard
to
of
like.
him.
I'm gonna like grab
the other one.
Morlock's arm when I hear that.
Yeah. We'll see what that does here momentarily.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Hang on, I gotta
No!
get to Morlock.
No!
I got so many things up.
Oh, also for a point of interest, can I have been like translating this for him? Because we did do psychic whispers.
Well, you still have telepathy, so you could just be doing it in your mind if you'd like.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Nymeria would also be hearing it.
Yeah.
I think you got like 3 screens. How you got enough windows up?
I got 2 windows in the top right. I got Discord and my notes on the top left. I got my whole main screen here, but I've also got little pop-out screens that I'm looking at. Like, they're giving people
Jesus
something
Christ.
to look at, you know?
When they do start talking about Mordekaiser, Nymeria is going to state the one who wants to control this world, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That one.
You weren't there for that conversation.
What
No,
conversation?
you and Rex were. I just never translated it for you.
But
Oh,
also,
the first
Morlock
one.
told us.
That's true.
Yeah, that was where I got
Separate
confused. I was thinking
conversations.
of that one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Morlock, by the way, kind of just pulled his arm and you a touch closer when you gripped him. That being said, Ryze continues this conversation. Says, yeah, Mordekaiser. Big problem. He's actually from our world, Neto. And to explain it a little more concisely, there are many worlds, many places where different people and races all exist. Sometimes they're alone and sometimes they're not. But I travel between them.
Have you ever traveled to a place called Inore?
I've done that.
In Norway. It's possible. I've been around for quite some time, so it's possible that I found the world, but they're infinite. So I would have
Inside of
to check.
You said you travel between the worlds. How do you know what world you're in?
I have the power to select the world I go to, or just end up in a random location. I am familiar with this world. This is actually one of the first worlds I ended up in, accidentally.
Mr. Ryze, you said you were inside of what?
Inside of a portal?
You said the worlds were inside of something.
The worlds are all connected?
You said they were infinite.
Yeah, that.
Oh. Yeah. So do you know what infinite means, Neto?
I don't know what infinite is, no.
Oh boy, this is gonna be. That means a lot, more than you
Oh.
can count.
Well, I can count a lot. I've counted to 40.
You can count to 40.
At least 40, yes. I've done that before.
Well.
We're just gonna continue. Welcome, by the by.
Oh my god, wait, is that Bear?
It's Rex.
Get it right.
Anyway, we're gonna continue forward. I'll make sure that he gets that.
To
as well.
41.
Well, it's great that you can count to 40, Neto. Now, imagine counting to 40 times. And then do it again. And again. And again.
A bit.
And again. And again. And again. This is going to go on until someone stops him.
He's just looking down at his
I think
hand.
he gets the point, and even if he doesn't, don't waste your breath on it. Everybody else understands.
Great.
Every time he says again, he lifts another finger and just kind of looking down at his
I'm
hands.
going to, you know what? How close is Neto to me?
I assume mostly across
Not
the
that.
room.
He's
On
like
the
across.
wall.
Yeah, he's across the room. And
Across
you're,
the room?
Yeah.
Is that across the
I'm gonna
dragon?
I'm gonna put a hand out towards him, like kind of like a stopping, like palm facing him, hand towards him, and be like, "It means that there's a lot more than you can fathom. Your hands are not gonna count them.
He's not gonna know what fathom means.
I understand that, and it pains me every day.
I've counted a lot on my hands.
I realize, and that's great. That's amazing for you. But think about it in
You
the
said there was
concept
a
of.
lot, and I counted a lot.
But it's more than you can imagine, which
But-
I know isn't a lot. But
So I used my
it's a
hands
lot.
for a lot.
No.
Oh.
See, Neto, here's the thing, right? You know how throughout your entire life you've eaten food to survive? You
Mhm.
could probably not tell me the amount of food you've eaten in your entire life on your fucking hands.
But I've
That
eaten a
being
lot.
said, yes, and that's the point. It's a lot of places.
And I ate breakfast
Marion.
today. I
No, you're good. No. See, I don't feel like we need to
Marion,
elaborate.
just
I'm
calm.
you. Okay, yeah, I know.
Ahem.
Okay.
I'm going to give a defeated sigh, and I'm going to kind of like lean back against the wall a little bit and just cross my arms.
Ryze will continue his speaking. So anyway, yeah. So just so you understand the immensity of this situation, is Mordekaiser has found a way to connect to all the worlds, but more than I can. I can only send myself and maybe a handful of people through at a time, and I can no longer even do that because he can detect the magic now, and that's dangerous for me. Now, Mordekaiser is looking to take over all sentient life. He believes that there can only be peace if everyone is united.
I really doubt that he's wanting peace.
It's only peace if he's supreme ruler.
No, it's slavery.
That's exactly what it is. Mordekaiser conquers every world he opens a rift to, and he offers a single choice to the people there. They can serve him in life, or they can serve him in death after feeling excruciating pain. So most choose life after the first 1,000 or so deaths.
The first... What?
How do you die when you're already dead?
Mordekaiser isn't what you'd call living. He's also not what you'd call dead.
How do you kill something that's not alive or dead then?
Now see, that's what I'm working on. It's actually why I needed some help. I spoke with Lephia here, and she suggested an individual in your group might be able to get me into contact with someone who might allow me to stop his regenerative properties. Like, to explain, Mordekaiser did die thousands of years ago. However, his hatred was so great, he managed to sway off the beyond and dissipating into nothingness, and instead focused his powers and learned to control death itself. Now he strands every single entity that passes on into the beyond. He strands them there in his empire that he's built. So you cannot escape him in life or death.
I'm really sorry to ruin this, but I have a question.
Yep.
Is he still counting the coins?
No, he stopped counting the coins entirely.
Is he like in the middle of it, or did he finish?
Nope, he did not finish. He just
Freya's definitely like watching the coins.
there's just
like,
stacks
the
of
whole time he's
coins on the
talking.
windowsill, but like he stopped counting. He's like holding the bag and sort of passing it back and forth in his hands.
Okay. I just wanted to check. Continue,
Absolutely.
Stunna looks at Morlock when Ryze talks about death and stranding people there in his realm.
You're gonna
I have a
see.
question.
You're gonna see on Morlock's face that he recognizes this description. And then
How
what?
would it work if someone serving Mordekaiser in life were to be revived after they died?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to put together your question in my head, and it's not
Yeah, I
working.
asked in a really weird order. How would it work if someone under Mordekaiser's control died and then was revived by someone other than Mordekaiser?
Well, it's not inherently that he is controlling your living self. Your living self has free will, and you could choose whether or not you serve Mordekaiser. However, upon your death, you no longer receive that choice. He controls death. He controls everything that happens in the beyond, and he controls whether or not you move on.
I'm gonna ask Morlock in telepathy, which Nymeria would also be able to hear. Have you ever died before?
Morlock?
Yeah.
He just replies through the telepathy. No, but I watched many of my brethren die.
I'm gonna give a sigh of relief, an audible sigh of relief.
I'm sorry, but is there any chance you can continue this story while doing the coins? Or I can do the coins, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? This is more important than the question. Hang on a second, because
I am going.
what was your
to,
question, by the way, Nymeria?
I am going to Ryze. I'm going to be like, you said that Lephia told you could get in contact with somebody who could stop his regeneration through a party member of ours. Who is that?
Well, see, I need to contact what's known as a Yordle. They're from our world, mine and Neto's, of course. They possess a particular type of portal rift magic that I do not, and it would allow me to connect the worlds indefinitely and begin the counteroffensive. However, the Yordles are quite distant. They don't like to interact outside of their choice. They're very goofy, innocent little creatures, but they possess great magic, and we have need of it. I have a particular Yordle I've run into many times along my travels. He tends to go and scout out locations and just cause havoc, generally, wherever he goes.
No.
That being said,
Sorry.
I will have to find him again. I have a way to track him when he's in the mortal plane. And when I do find him, I'm going to send for Neto. And Neto, he's going to look directly at you and, like, get your attention. Neto, I need you to be very attentive here.
10.
Yeah, 10. 10 on the attention scale. Absolutely, that's correct. Neto, when I find this little Yordle, and I try to convince him to take us to Bandle City, I'm gonna create a portal. And you're gonna see me in this Yordle there. And I'm gonna need you to come through that portal. It doesn't matter what you're doing. The fate of the world's gonna depend on you stepping through.
If
Oh
you
my
can find
God.
this Yordle, why can't you speak with him?
What was the question? Sorry.
If you can find the Yordle, why can't you communicate with him?
Unfortunately, in order to go to Bandle City, you have to be pure of heart. Unfortunately, I am not pure of heart. But Neto, surprisingly, is the most pure of heart person in this room. Or in this world, as far as I'm aware.
But 10. Okay, but if last time I found the portal, I fell through it, but you need me to walk through it.
Yeah, it'll be a different portal. It'll be my portal.
Be a different portal. Okay. When?
I don't know.
But
What'll happen is it's just going to appear.
Where?
Whenever I find the Yordle, you'll see a portal appear immediately, wherever you are.
Oh, in front of me?
About these portals. I believe I could have a way of getting you back to your homeland without using portals, since you said it was dangerous.
For 1 or 2 people, I can manage. For large groups or armies, I cannot. Those portals attract attention.
When you move between realms.
Only if the portal is open for long enough or if it's large enough. He can sense it and he zeroes in, opens his own portals, and things get ugly. But for 1 or 2 people, not a problem. But you said you had an idea? What was your idea?
Oh my god, my brain really wanted to say I can show you, but...
Yeet! You could do it.
Ryze disappears.
I really want to do it. Okay, she's gonna say I can show you, because she doesn't fully know if it works. Like, her whole thing is based off instinct. So yeah, she's gonna say I can show you.
Is it to Ryze or Neto?
Ryze.
Oh yeah, I would love to see how this works. So do you create a portal and walk through, or what do you?
She's gonna sigh, stand up, point the staff at him. Wouldn't explain in the slightest.
Mm-hmm.
And do that.
Do I have? I don't think I have. Oh, I do have him in here. Holy shit!
Look
I'm
at you.
so cool.
Yeah, you are.
I lost him. There he is.
Oh.
It is a what now? A charisma save?
16.
Wow.
Gone.
Yee!
Oh shit!
Yeah. So you point the staff over at Ryze, and mid sentence like, yeah, oh, he's pointing the staff at me. What is this? Some sort of boop. And he just sort of pops out of existence. Lephia just lets out a sigh, just like,
Ray's gonna go grab the coins.
okay. So as you're grabbing the coins, a big blue portal opens up next to you, and Ryze steps through, closes the portal, looks at you, goes, wow, that was effective. I haven't been back there in a while. Terrible place nowadays.
Audible gasp when Ryze walks back through so instantaneously. Oh, can I if I see his portal, can I does it look familiar to me at all?
You were 5, right?
I was
8.
let me double
Something
check,
like that.
actually. Yeah, I think it was 8.
But I would say that it starts to stir some memories, but like you're not sure why.
Okay.
So as Berea has now gathered up all the gold, Ryze has gone back to his spot for explanations. Svenna has some strange memories stirring, and as all this is happening, you hear Neto go, "Ooh!" And he pulls a book off the shelf.
I'm gonna sit on the nearest flat surface.
Uh,
Whether the floor.
I
or
was gonna say
table.
that's the floor, yeah. Sits on the floor. Everybody's perception's high enough, so except maybe Rex's. The front of the book reads, "The Knight's Code," and underneath it, "Unveiling the Chivalric Virtues." And inside the book are
definitely just gonna go sit back down.
inside the book, as you guys look from afar, you can see Neto flipping through. There's a lot of nice pictures in here.
You said these Yordles, they have the powers, magical powers. Is there any way to take that from them?
Well, it's not so much that I want to take their powers. I just
but
have
is it
need of
possible
them.
to take their powers?
I'm not sure that that's feasible.
It's feasible between the Daemons.
It is.
What do you mean?
Well, when demons fight each other in battle and one of them falls, then they absorb the other demon's powers.
That does seem interesting. But Yordles are not demons.
Little demon Timo.
That's a little devil,
It's a
Timo.
devil, right?
Thank you.
But
I said it
technically,
wrong, but I had to say demon to point out the same thing.
most magical creatures you can siphon their magic from.
How do you do that?
Are you taking life energy directly?
It's been rumored that people have been able to make deals with creatures and share their spells.
Really? How'd you know that, Nymeria? Sorry.
I would have
didn't
no
know she'd
fucking
say that.
guess, yeah.
Is that the same thing as sharing, or is that
I mean,
siphoning?
if you're siphoning
Sometimes.
essence off their life, you might want to take one of the better outlets.
Well, I've heard that sometimes it's a deal, and other times it's creatures so great that they don't even know that the power's being shared.
Life essence comes out of a couple
Well,
different outlets.
This is all very good theory, of course. But I would actually have to arrive in Vandal City and study it before I could actually enact any of that. So perhaps we'll table that. Now, the reason that I've been put into contact with you all for more than just Neto, although Neto is important. I used to carry around a very large scroll. Now, I used to go world to world, willy-nilly, not covering any tracks because no one could follow. Until one day, Mordekaiser found me. We battled. I was captured, but before I was captured, this very, very large and important scroll, I sent it through a portal with no destination. I don't know where it went. I desperately need this scroll. I've been told that this group is good at doing things that would otherwise be undoable, and I would like to hire you to help find the scroll.
You have any idea of where it could be?
Not a single clue.
And you expect us to jump through a random bunch of worlds when you yourself said it was dangerous for multiple people to try to
Absolutely.
get those? Are you going to
Okay,
provide
what are we
transport?
supposed to get out of this?
Well, see, I'm happy to pay you in gold or currency of any kind, or perhaps items from different worlds, magical ones. I can even make you things.
How can we
Svenna-
trust that? I think you should make us an item just to prove you're being trustworthy. We've just met you.
That's fair. But you seem to work pretty well with Lephia here. So I assumed you would all be fine. You know what? I understand.
Doesn't mean we work very well with you.
That's fair. That's fair.
Lephia doesn't interject.
Lephia's just watching this go down. She does not want to interject at all.
Fair enough.
So, as Ryze stands there, he sort of opens up a very small portal just in the air in front of him. It's like horizontal instead of vertical. And he kind of reaches his arm in about up to the elbow, and you can hear somehow the sort of echoing chamber. It's just like clinking and clattering, and things are falling over in a place you cannot see. He reaches and he pulls out this this really long silver chain. And he looks at it, and he's like, ah, yeah, this'll work, this'll work. He kind of like puts it on the table. He closes that portal, opens up another one, and reaches into that one with his other arm, kind of reaches around. You hear some more clattering. He pulls out a couple of different colored gemstones, looks at it, puts it back in. He pulls out like part of a blade. He's like, ah, no, not that one. And he puts it back in. And he pulls out... huh?
Nothing.
Real bona fide gynecologist.
He pulls out a very translucent, fiery, diamond-like gemstone. He grabs the chain, and as he picks them both up, the portal closes, and he does some hand motions. The chain and the gemstone sort of float in the air around each other, and he...
Do I recognize it?
The gemstones?
Yeah.
No. You do not. I know what you're doing, but no. He sort of just whirls his hands around, and the chain and gemstones swirl faster and faster until they're a blur. You hear clinking, some metal like sort of grinding together, and then you feel some sort of burst of magical energy as it exudes from this pendant. He stops swirling his hands, and the pendant floats in air, and he says, well, all right.
Right,
Is this enough?
Grab it. What does it do?
Well, this particular one, it would allow you to temporarily absorb fragments of magical knowledge from runes and books and other sources. It basically allows you to learn something about anything once a day.
Anything living?
No, not living. It's scrolls
Learn
and
something
books
about
and
anything?
magic things and things like that.
Why is it only once a day?
Nymeria is gonna look over to Svenna and be like, we could try to use it on Rex's sword.
Does that
Oh,
count
that's
as
a great
something
idea.
being identified if you just told us directly what it did?
What did you say?
Does it count as being identified if you just told us
Yeah,
directly what
yeah,
it did?
it counts.
Okay.
I've sent you the deets.
Thanks.
Yeah, so is that enough? Do you think maybe we could do some business now? The magic items aren't really important to me. It's more about the fact that I need actual assistance.
Oh,
They're not
wait.
important to you. I'll take as many as you're willing to give.
That's gonna be the only one for now. You've actually got to do some work before you get more.
Oh.
Strange strategies you use.
Well, you know, I'm a bit desperate.
So do
There's-
you have any hints
You
on how
look
to find your
desperate.
scroll?
That's rude. And as far as the scroll goes, I'm hoping that the Yordle can also help me with that. They're very good with portals, and I'm just hoping that maybe they can give me an idea of where to go. Basically, I just wanted to make sure y'all are on board with helping me out. And then what I'll end up doing is taking your group to locations so you can go check it out whilst I continue my work.
Neto's raising a hand. I'm sitting on a board.
Yes, the floor is made of boards.
Yes.
You said Mordekaiser can track large portals, so would he show up? We
No.
would travel around between worlds.
Not likely. I can always lead him away as well. You all will not be caught up with Mordekaiser. Like I said, I can take a small group.
Would that be
The
all of us?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably. guess we'll just have to find out.
The mention of Mordekaiser, I'm gonna check Morlock again.
Morlock is stone-faced. He's not showing any emotion.
Oh, it changes. That's cool.
So anyway, do you think we could work out a deal? Maybe every time you guys go and explore a place, I give you a great item. Maybe it works for both of us.
Maybe. We'll see.
See, the issue is that I can't stay in any one place too long. Otherwise, things begin to happen where I am. After this conversation, I'm leaving.
I have no objections.
Wonderful. Now, one thing I do want to mention before I go. Neto, you remember our deal with the portal?
Yes, in front of me.
Yeah, it'll be in front of you. And what are you going to do with it?
I'm gonna tell it a joke.
No.
Oh.
You can tell the Yordle the joke. The
Correct.
Yordle will probably love the jokes.
What do I do?
You go through the portal, Neto.
Worst come to worst, I'll push him through it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It was Berea, right? It's
Yes.
wonderful. Thank you so much for that.
Wait, so you don't want to hear a joke?
No.
No, but I do want to tell you. Neto,
Tell me?
I saw you groaning in terror last night while you slept.
I was on the couch.
Mm-hmm. What, do you think I sleep the entire night? Does I look like I sleep entire nights? No, I am an anxiety-ridden magic guy who teleports from world to world. I don't sleep all night.
Called himself a magic guy.
Shannon.
You were dreaming of your home and your friends.
Yeah.
No, you need to know that you're having a vision.
I have a book. Kind of holds it up.
You hold up the night book.
Yeah.
You do have a book, buddy. I just want you to know that your friend is safe now.
And kind of like looks across the room, just like, were they in danger?
Your friend from Targon, Agatha.
My sister.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have a sister.
I have a whole family.
It's his battle sister.
Never mentioned them.
What's the difference?
They're not
One
related.
is a family, and one is not related at all, and just is next to him.
I got a whole family.
Nymeria, how would you like to be my battle sister?
You know what? I think I'll take you up on that offer. You can be a
Svena's gonna
better family
tug
than
on
us.
Fantastic.
Svena's gonna tug on Morlock's arm when Nymeria and Berea are like, "Do you want to be my battle sister?"
Did y'all need someone to go through the ceremony with you?
There's
No,
a
okay.
ceremony.
Takes his head to the side. We do the thing with the cup.
Cup?
Yeah, we there was you take the cup, you fill it with the red juice, and you drink it together, and you celebrate with the food and the battle sister and brother.
Don't we do that every night at the tavern?
I mean, kinda. He kind of starts scratching his head. There was, I mean, we did more, but and we made a big party of it, not like a little bit, but like party of it.
It sounds like it could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's great and all. I'm really happy that you guys are bonding. That'll be great for later when you're in, deadly situations.
Thank you, guys.
So, anyway, that's all I had to say. Neto, portal. Rest of
Portal.
you,
Joke.
We're gonna start working on going places. I'll come and contact you when I have a place for you to check out. I'll send you there. I'll bring you back. It'll be great. And if that's all, I'm gonna leave now. And he's making a portal currently.
I can take care of that if you want.
Svenna waves.
You don't want to joke before you go?
Well, I don't need you to send me back there because it's not really where I want to go. Also, I was just there, and that's a bit dangerous to go back to the exact same place right away. Neto, you know what, buddy? What's your joke?
What does a pig's tail and waking up at 4 a.m. have in common?
I'm afraid of this answer, but what do they have in common?
It's twirly.
It's yes, no, and he's gonna walk through the portal and close it.
It's twirly.
Svenna giggles and looks at Morlock.
It's Morlock. See, here's your giggle. Tries to give you a not scary smile. He's getting better. It's not great, but he's getting better.
Neto holding his hands to the side, switches over to Lephia, and just, it's twirly.
It's twirly.
She had you the first time.
So, Lephia,
Yes, dear.
what now?
Well, as it stands now, I've connected you with Ryze as per his request. You all get paid for your efforts. At this point, we do have some news from up north. There's been some of my scouts have returned from up there, and there were settlements at one point. There seemed to be a settlement, but it seemed to have both demonic beings and people. It was very strange. The reports were very garbled. I wasn't able to make them out, and the scouts haven't returned yet in person, but I hope for them to do so tonight.
You said up north?
Up north.
I see.
Indeed. Now, I don't have any more for you today, so much. But I would like to suggest that perhaps you equip yourselves. Whenever Ryze calls upon you, you'll want to be well equipped.
Do you have any suggestions of where to go?
Of course. I think I've heard you're already familiar with some of the market shops, and she's gonna kind of eyeball Rex's sword a little bit there.
Roll done.
Do you know about the sword?
I heard
Wait,
that
I
there
don't know
was
the
a
sword's weird.
confrontation.
Ignore me.
I did.
Okay, cool.
Well, you have the marketplace. Mixing them up. You have the marketplace. You also have Arya's Forge, up towards the northern part of the city. I'm sure that you could also perhaps find more equipment in the market. If you're in need of something specific, perhaps elixirs of some sort, you could try a vial of spice.
Would there be
Svenna-
anything for the more magical side of things?
Musical magical sheep.
I hear there's a
Yeah.
sheep herder. No, I'm just kidding.
Lephia, I do have a question regarding some items before we leave.
Of course. What can I answer for you, my dear Nymeria?
I am going to rummage in my bag for a minute. I'm going to take out the 2 magical pieces of paper and the red book and the Ionian book that Neto had. I'm going to set them all down in front of her and ask, what can you tell me about these?
Oh, Bria's gonna throw some green boots on the table.
And those.
Oh, Svenna has a map that she found in the catacombs. She's gonna whip that out of her bag.
Oh my god, guys.
Oh wait, and paper.
Neto over here just not getting to do anything with his spells.
He hasn't told anyone he has.
He has. Well, he's definitely identified things right in front of everyone. In any case,
Has he done it in front of me?
I think so.
From.
I don't know. In any
identified
case,
the necklace, and that was when Namir was reading a book.
Lephia's gonna kind of look down at all the stuff on the table. Just kind of go, and what's all this exactly?
Things we found, and we have no idea what they are.
Dear, these look
One that I'm
important.
most curious about is, and she's going to push the red book forward and be like, I found this in the catacombs of that place we were sent to last.
Oh,
Found
that's
this map in there.
how interesting. Well, perhaps I could take some time and learn more about these objects. Are you willing to leave them with me?
Would you be able to just tell us about the book now, and we can come back for the rest?
Oh, I suppose. It's really no fun if I don't have time to look them over. She's gonna pick up the red
Let you
book.
borrow it later.
She's gonna pick up the red book, sort of flips through the pages, and she's gonna close the book and hold her palm up against the flat of the cover. You're gonna feel some innate magic just sort of radiating from her hand. And as she removes her hand, she sort of smiles slyly. Oh, this is a wonderful book. This book will allow you to learn to learn more about magic things much easier than before.
How exactly? Brian's
Well,
gonna,
you'll
like,
just
try and
know.
reach out for the book.
Stats were sent to Nymeria.
Woo!
Woo! I guess I should pop it in the chat so everybody knows, because I feel like that would make sense. So there you go, chat. Now the rest of these I could identify given some time, but they won't be done right away. Perhaps this evening?
I'm sure we can make arrangements
That
to
would be
come
fine.
back.
Just gonna look between the two of you. Are you leaving them here then?
I'll leave my
Do you want
items.
us to take them?
I'm just double checking. I wasn't really clear on what we were doing.
Okay, yeah, we're leaving everything, but the book? Are you leaving the book? I don't know.
No, I'm gonna take my book back, but I'm gonna leave the papers, and then I'm actually gonna redact the Ionian book thing, because I forgot that it was given by Lephia. I don't care enough to have that be identified there.
Fair enough.
I don't think it needs to be, it's just books.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Senna stuffs her map back in her bag.
So everything is being taken, got it.
Oh, you're not leaving the map? No, I'm leaving my stuff.
I'm
And
leaving the
Namir's leaving
pages.
most of her stuff.
So you're leaving the boots.
I'm leaving the boots and the paper, and Namir is also leaving the paper.
What paper?
So I picked up a paper from the funny guy who was really talking on the wooden table at the.
Oh my god, that paper! Absolutely. I remember that paper.
And then
It's been a while.
the paper that I insulted a merchant about the falsehoods of his magical items for, and then
Oh, I
took
had
it
that
without
paper.
paying for it.
Okay. So 2 papers and the boots are being left.
Yeah,
Indeed.
Svenna, did
Got
you
it.
have 2 things you put on the table? Are you leaving any of them or taking them both back?
I only pulled out the map that I found in the catacombs, but she's gonna keep that.
Okay.
Well then, if there's nothing else, I would ask for a moment with Borea. Alone.
Funny, I was going to ask the same thing. Namira, get out.
I'm leaving, but not because you asked me to.
Whatever you need to tell yourself.
She walks out.
Question, does Ignatius stay or leave?
Well, Ignatia wouldn't necessarily want to leave, so Ignatia is gonna just kind of sit
That's what I
there.
was thinking.
Lephia will not force Ignatia out.
You can speak in front of them.
Did everybody else leave the room then?
Unless Neto was pulled out of the runes, he's still reading his book in the corner.
I'm going to be reluctant to leave.
Lephia will wait patiently and be like, Neto, dear.
Huh?
Yeah, you can take that book with you if you like, but will you just go right out in the hallway and maybe say hi to the receptionist?
And he kind of holds it up over his head and kind of points to one of the armored figures on one of the pages and be like, he's really cool.
Yes, he is very cool. Why don't go show that to the receptionist. Just right outside the doors there.
And he stands up with the book and kind of holds it to himself and kind of turns and I don't remember what her name is.
At this point, she's also going to look over at you, Sveta, and be like, would you mind helping him, dear? It's very important.
Come on, Neto.
Freya's just like impatiently drumming her hand on the table. Sorry, continue.
I don't remember the representative's name.
Svena's gonna point to the door and
What?
look at Neto.
And he looks back at Lephia. I don't
Neto, go read outside.
remember the receptionist's name. I don't want to show her the picture without. I don't know her
Then don't
name.
talk to her.
But I just.
Neto, dear,
I
the
don't remember.
Neto, out.
receptionist's name is Emily.
Lemony?
Emily, dear.
Yes,
I'm-
it's that.
Oh, alright, okay. Walks with Sven out the door.
Amazing.
There's just sighs.
Morlock will follow Svena out the room then.
1 second.
Yeah, what are you doing, Svena?
When Neto walks by, I'll jump off the table, and as he's approaching the door, I open up my bag and look at the contents inside of it, and look back at Lephia,
Oh,
and
yes.
give her a sly grin, and then I walk out.
Oh, 'cause she's the one that
It's got that amulet.
Okay. So you gave a sly grin and then walked out.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna go show
Okay.
Emily the book.
Great.
Also, because I'm assuming Rex and Nymeria have already descended down the stairs or went down the hallway or whatever, I'm going to linger at the door after it closes, and I'm gonna stay there and try and listen in on the conversation.
Okay.
I'm
Your
not here if
perception is
she walks
very
away
high.
or not. I have pretty high perception.
What is your both of your perceptions are 18, are they not?
Mine's 17, I'm pretty sure, because it's one lower. Yeah, 17.
Due to the fact that you both have insane perceptions. So, okay, I need to clarify where everybody is. Neto's going to talk to Emily, the receptionist. Borlock is staying with Svena.
Freya,
Svena is
Ignatius,
going to stay outside the door and try and listen in. Nymeria is...
Degav, where are you?
Walking
She's
out.
not here, that means okay.
Alright. Nymeria is walking out of the room. What I will have you two do Actually, I'm just gonna have Svenna do it because I'm interested. Svenna, I would like for you to roll stealth with disadvantage because Borea is listening for you.
Okay.
Oh.
Oof. Well, it can't get much worse.
Can I roll it with side bolstered knack?
Yeah, technically, yeah, you can side bolster that.
Would she just roll it again then, or?
Gets +6 or plus
Oh,
8.
4.
+4. So it would be +4 to the 14.
It would be 18. And your perception is 17. Okay.
That beats it.
All right, then Svenna, you do listen in at the door, just barely quietly enough that Borea doesn't hear you.
Hey, Morlock.
I would have nodded to Morlock to like walk down the hallway.
I assume
Like,
Morlock
the-
just
the
wandered
hallway.
away, like nearby. But in any case, we're gonna come
Okay,
back to
anyway.
this.
What?
I know. I'm just
That's
here to
just
mess with
rude.
everybody. I'm checking a thing.
Does it include your car's oil?
You know, it surprisingly does. Not.
Does it include your car's extended warranty? Because if not, we could talk about it.
We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. I'm pulling up my notes, sorry. Okay.
Receptionist?
Yeah, we're gonna do the
Surprisingly.
receptionist first.
No notes on the receptionist.
No, I actually do have a little bit, but so Neto, you've walked out of the room. The doors close behind you as everyone exits. Namira making her way out towards the front door. You approach the receptionist desk. It is like an average height woman. She's human. She has some brownish chestnut hair. And she has it like a, I don't know, like in an up little bunny thing kind of deal. She wears some kind of professional looking clothes and is kind of stacking some papers and writing some things down. And then as you approach, she kind of looks up and sees you and is like, I can't remember what her voice was like, if she had a voice at all. Ooh.
I think
Now's
it's
the time
quite
to
similar
choose.
Lephia's.
Yeah. We'll just go, yeah, I'm just gonna go with normal. Like, we can
It
do
was
this.
like really preppy white girl.
That's
It
right,
was
it was preppy
really-
white girl. Like, hi. How are you?
kinda
What
like
was your
that.
name again? It was Neto, right?
Hi, hello. I got this thing. I got a book from Lephia.
Oh wow, you
Yeah.
actually got a book out of Lephia's office? That's impressive.
Yeah.
Does she know?
Yeah, and she let me have the book, you know, and then he holds it like halfway open and points to his favorite knights, like this guy.
Oh wow, what's that one's name?
I call him Rex. He does flips and stuff.
Oh wow, that sounds really cool.
And he kind of like holds the book upside down. And he's like, see, he does a flip.
Wow, and she laughs. You know, that sort of like, haha, you're funny laugh. It's like, so, and she's gonna sort of like do this little hair twirl thing with the fingers. Like, so, what are you doing later?
Probably can, have some dinner and, read the book. Yeah.
Oh wow. Would you like maybe some company reading the book?
Yeah, I mean, it's a small book, but like,
We could read it a couple of times.
It's just be kind of hard to fit a whole company around the book. But like, if it was maybe a bigger book, maybe. But like,
Well, maybe we could go somewhere and share the book.
I mean, it's in one piece. I'd like to keep it together. If you
No,
got
we can
mad
keep
when
it together. How about you'll hold the book and I'll look at the book.
It's a nice looking book. I don't understand. Yeah, I mean that sounds nice.
You know what? Where are you staying at, Neto?
With Trixie and Tracy.
Oh, the
And,
half full cup, of course.
yeah,
That's a nice place. Do you know which one of the rooms is yours?
and he holds up his hand. 1, 2, second. Yeah, third room.
Third room.
Yeah.
Oh, well, wonderful. Well, why don't we get a drink tonight, and maybe we can spend some time reading the book. Eh?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you,
We'll go up to your room, and it'll be a nice private affair.
I mean, yeah. I thought you said you want to invite a company.
No. Just you and me. We're company enough.
Usually that's like.
And she's just gonna hold up her finger and just like kind of press it onto your. Just, shh. I'll see you tonight. And she's gonna kind of like indicate for you to head off out to the room or out to the outside.
Mm-hmm. Can I kind of like look over towards the direction of the finger?
Go ahead
Towards
and
the door.
why don't you let me finish my work and I'll come meet you tonight. We'll have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll bring dinner.
Got it.
You're in
Bread?
a tavern.
Eh. She didn't say what kind of dinner.
Yeah. And I assume it. Just kind of start like walking towards the door, kind of holding the book still, and just looking back towards the desk, just the door.
She's gonna smile at you and kind of like go back to her work, sort of indicating that that you're kind of done for now. With all that, Neto, I'm gonna assume that you either continue to the door or do something.
For sure, yeah. And just kind of wanders all the way towards the door. And out it towards the rest of what'll be Niberi in the room.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so you head out towards the door. We'll go back to Svenna and Borea and all that. So Svenna, you are listening at the door. I'm going to say you get most everything, but some of it will be talked low, so you may not hear it. Lephia is sitting at her desk and she sort of doesn't cross. She puts her elbows on the table and kind of like puts her fingers together. Says, so Borea, dear, we didn't get a chance to talk about that book I gave you.
We did not. Have you found any more pages for it?
I have not, no. I've been rather busy. I was hoping that you'd be able to find those pages. In your travels, of course. Seems like this group of people go places at random times.
I don't exactly know what they'd be lying about. I'd imagine someone has them.
Either someone, or perhaps they're just left somewhere. I found this in the last location where your people were. The place was unfortunately just ruins, but I did manage to
Where was
salvage
it?
this book. I can mark it on your map. Here. She's gonna mark it on your map, but I will send that to you later. But that
Yeah, I
being
was gonna
said,
say
it's up in the northern mountains as well.
Is it one of the places I've been or no?
This one would not be, no.
Okay.
This would be a new
that was the one I
location
was
that you.
talking about.
Yeah, it's a location you're not familiar with. Borea, I also have some other things of your heritage that I found in my own personal travels, and I'd like for you to have them.
Such as?
She's gonna pull these out one at a time, setting each one on the desk in front of her. The first one is a small figurine. Seems to have been carved from solid and clear ice, and it depicts the divine form of a rule.
Very nice.
Even though it's made of ice and it's cold to the touch, it does not melt. And I will send you those specs, and I'll post them in here as well. And she's gonna pull out the next thing, which is a large, very meticulously fur-lined cloak. She's gonna lay it on the table, and seems to have been made from like a white Arctic fox fur. She's gonna slap that on the table.
Where exactly did you find all these things? In the same place, or?
Through my travels, I've come across many locations that were home to the worshippers of a rule. Unfortunately, you're the only surviving member of the religion that I've met. She takes out one more item. It's a small silver bracelet, exquisitely carved. And it seems to exude a cold and flowy aura, if you will. As you pick up the bracelet to sort of inspect it, for you hear some sort of mechanic shift, and a small, tiny compartment within the bracelet opens up.
Is it only when I touch it?
It's
or
only
is it
when
she
you
puts
touch
on
it,
the table?
because when Lephia touched it, it did not open, and she watches in wonder as a small compartment opens up, and you pull out a small and very intricately carved key.
Do you know what this is for?
I don't know what it be for, but it seems important. It never did that for me. But these things I
appreciate you
found
giving me all
over...
these things.
Hey, listen!
She said, I appreciate you giving me all these things. Which I now have to add to thing.
Yeah. I found these over my travels, and they definitely should go to someone who will appreciate them for what they are. Now, Borea, I wish to help you find these pages. I'm very interested in what happened to your religion. Your religion.
Heroism.
Yep.
Oh my.
We can use this book to unravel very powerful ice magic. We might be able to protect Matai with it.
I'm more curious how you knew I was a member of her in the first place.
I've explored many of their homesteads. I've seen many depictions of their people and religion, and of course, your staff is quite obvious if you know what to look for. Wouldn't you say?
I would.
Wonderful.
I just wasn't sure if you would recognize it.
Now, because I'm being so straightforward with you, perhaps when you do find more pages of the book, maybe we could study them together
Maybe. We'll see.
The reason that I'm so interested, because I must be upfront with you, Berea, is that the book contains strong and powerful magics. And it's my theory that it can contain a spell that can eliminate the threat of rifts appearing in Matai at all.
I'm not sure if Varel has magic like that.
I've studied many religions, and the only one who seems to have power that great is a rule. But we can, of course, discuss this when we find more pages, and perhaps we'll find more information as time goes. But I hope that the gifts can serve as a olive branch between us. She sort of just sits there and waits.
I hope so.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, I have nothing more to give you.
That. I was wondering if you could help me with something.
Of course, Berea. Anything to foster good relations.
Would you happen to have anywhere capable of housing a dragon?
I don't think we have such a place, but I think perhaps we could arrange for something. It would take quite some time. Perhaps a week or two. But maybe I could arrange for something to be there for you.
That would be helpful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, I'm failing at fucking Twitch chat right now, and I'm done with it.
When they start talking about the dragon, I want to start walking down the hall after Morlock.
How dare you? You're not interested in the dragon? And then we go back into all my lore and all my backstory.
Did you
I
have?
mean, I just end up missing it.
Did you have any further questions, Borea?
No, thank you. I assume you've given me all the books you have on the roll, though. Oh,
I have, yes.
actually, I've noticed you're adept at using magic. Is there any chance you'd be able to help me learn?
Perhaps. Mayhaps we could do a training session, just the two of us. She sort of looks
When would you
over
be able
at
to do
the dragon and looks back at you and goes, I think it would be safer that way.
Probably.
Wonderful. Well, don't let me keep you. I do have to do some additional paperwork. Be sure to split all that gold with your friends.
Of course.
And she kind of swings her hand and the doors open up, sort of indicating that...
And Sven is just sitting there. Oh, goddammit, she left.
No,
Oh,
she's
this one.
smart and walked away. It was really good.
Yeah.
That's I was gonna do that. She walked away already. I was like, damn, that was good. So at this point, I assume...
Bray will just like nod, say thank you, and leave. Do we have time to do anything else, or are we done now? Like, ending session now?
We have one more thing to do before we end.
Is that a predetermined thing, or is that a we go do things?
No, that is a predetermined thing.
Okay.
So, at this point, I want to say the entire party has wandered outside of the guild hall.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Is Morlock there too?
And Morlock and Ignatia will be there as well.
Okay.
Well, the whole party will be there, yeah. And then Nymeria, you're also there. Go.
I exist, I guess.
I guess.
You're also there.
Forced to.
Forced to.
So, as the entire party sort of stands out in front of the guild hall, you hear a flapping of wings. It's a little bit different than you recall hearing in the area. Nymeria, you have to think for a moment. It's been a long time since you've heard this set of wings, and you immediately cringe a little bit. And flying out in front of you, landing on a branch in a tree nearby, you see a beautiful fey raven, the jet black sort of feathers and tipped in red, like a deep red, and there was red. There's also red around the actual eyes as well. And it calls out, it goes, "It is I, Zira, greatest of the Fey Ravens. The beautiful, alluring, and brilliant Aurelia Versailles strongly requests your presence back in Vindros. I possess a message for Nymeria Versailles, only daughter and heir of Aurelia Versailles, Marquise of Vindros."
Svena's jaw drops.
How close is it to me, by the way?
I would say it's
It's
probably like
here.
15 feet away. It's not gonna get closer.
I'm drawing my rapier.
Is that any way to treat an old friend?
I wouldn't really consider you an
Right.
old friend,
No.
Zero.
Oh, I just take care of you for all of your life, and you just go out and tell me I'm not your friend? Unbelievable.
I can't wait to be king.
Would you like the message now, Nymeria?
If I have to hear it,
You do. Oh, good. The Fey Raven opens its beak, and the voice that comes out from its mouth is not the voice that you've heard, but it is a sultry, soft, but commanding, dominating voice.
Motherly.
Very,
And Dommy Mommy.
very Dommy Mommy vibes coming out
Very,
here.
very caring.
Hello, love. It's been such a long time since you've been home, hasn't it? Seems you've made waves in the world, finally obtaining some small semblance of power, Though it seems you had to resort to some petty blood magic for your power. Big things for the family name have been happening, dear. Bigger than you could possibly imagine. It's best you make your way home soon and meet the new help. Your brother and father will be ecstatic to see you, of course, as well as a mutual friend of ours. And of course, by friend, I mean that thing you swore your soul to. Oh, and don't forget to bring your new servants with you, especially your plaything. See you soon, dear.
Can we hear it?
Yep. The Raven's
I am not
voice
fucking seven.
changes back to its normal voice. Says, "Well, that's the message. Bye." And it's gonna fly off.
Have you been telling your mother I'm your servant?
Are you a princess?
Neto holds up the book and be like, "This guy's got a sword."
I am going to take a moment to kind of like compose myself. I'm glaring as Zira flies away, and I kind of forget that the rest of the party is there. And so when my attention gets more drawn to them, she's going to tense. And she's going to slowly put her rapier away. And she's going to look over to Berea, and she'll be like, "So how did the conversation with Lephia go?"
No. Explain the bird.
Neto's still
I don't
holding the
really see
book
what
and
there
tapping at
is
the.
to explain.
Wait, I didn't hear what you said.
Well, I don't really think there is much to explain.
No, I heard myself be referred to as a servant. You need to explain better.
Granted, you were grown up in poverty. It's a general assumption.
Yet I still act more mature than you. I don't see your point.
It's got a point when it matches yours.
She turns to Svenna. I'm
So
not a
what did you
princess.
swear your soul to?
It's being overdramatic. Those things tend to not be very accurate with their
That was a
relaying
played
messages.
message. I heard the voice.
things can be lost in translation. Oh, actually, a better question. Would it have spoken in Common or Elvish?
Oh, that is a great question.
I was thinking that when she said translation, I was like, was it in Elvish?
Oh, I didn't even consider that. That's a really good thought.
We've already had this argument.
I know. I forget you all speak fucking 8,000 languages. It's gonna be in common.
Hold on.
It's in common. We're going in common. I've already established that it was in common. Everybody heard it. We're done.
She's gonna she's gonna look back over to Svenna and just repeat again. Just I wasn't a princess, just so you know. As far as selling my soul, I got my magic through my books. I believe that's what she's referring to.
I can treat you like a princess if you ask.
If you call me that,
What
I'll break
the
your
hell?
fucking hand.
No.
Are you leaving us?
No. Well,
Are we
I'm
coming with
coming
you?
with you. I need to see this woman who thinks of me as a servant.
she kind of hesitates for a minute and she goes, if I go, I wouldn't want to bring you guys.
Svenna's
I'm
ears
sorry?
turn down.
You realize I'm going with you whether you bring me or not, right?
Which is one of the reasons why I hate you.
It's your fault you picked me up.
I'm pretty sure that's not how that worked. Look, let's figure out what we're doing now, before we talk about... Maybe we should... She gets caught up in her words for a moment. Maybe we should talk about this tomorrow.
Fine. I need to go to the needle place. Svenna, do you remember what it was called?
The needle and thread or something?
Yes, we need to go there.
It's the nimble needle.
There's a needle in
This
the
is why we're
book
coming with you.
it's this stuff.
You know, you guys go on your little marketing adventures. I think I'm gonna head back to the tavern. Think that over.
In psychic whispers, in telepathy. Svenna's gonna ask Nymeria, or say to her, don't leave without us.
Decide to go alone, I'll at least tell you. But I'm not sure
Good,
yet.
because if... Oh wait, no, I can't hear this.
Svenna
She gives a final nod. She seems hesitant, a little unnerved, and she would turn to go and start walking to the tavern.
And that is
Maria's gonna walk away and put her new cloak on.
looking left and right between the two of them. Hey, in opposite directions? Forward, you're walking in a different direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the tavern's over there, the needle's at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just kind of like back and forth and just looks to the littlest one left next to me and just be like, hold the book over and point a picture. Little sharp thing.
Svenna pulls out one of her daggers in response.
It's getting good.
Response?
Yeah, you showed me a picture of something sharp.
A knight holding a little rapier.
Yeah, so I'm pulling out my dagger.
It's still just fingered a page staring at you.
I mean, I want rapiers. It doesn't matter. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm just holding my dagger on the page of the book. Svenna looks up at Neto.
No movement. Just fingered a page still.
As Borea's footsteps start receding, I'm gonna turn to Morlock and like gesture nod over to Borea and then start heading in Borea's direction.
So I want to point out I did like motion Ignatia to come with me whether they did or not.
Are you waiting on me?
Mm-hmm.
Great. I know people are going places, and I was definitely preparing for the places you're trying to go. What is happening?
Are we doing them now?
Brain cells worked.
We can... My brain cells don't work. Shit. So where is everybody going? All of you are going to the Nimble Needle?
No.
Apologies.
Svenna and I are.
Yeah,
And
Bray and
Morlock
Svenna.
and Ignatia.
And Neto, holding his book, watching them leave, looked back over to Nymeria and walked off that way.
Towards Nymeria.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they went back to the inn.
I'm gonna say that Rex is also going back to the inn for all intents and
Brevity.
purposes.
Simplicity.
So the
He doesn't
three
do
of you
that.
are heading to the inn. Well, let me ask real quick. Nymeria, is there any additional things you'd like to do this session? Because I will be ending it after the Nimble Needle.
No, basically I just go back to the tavern and kind of go over some old notes and old items.
Okay.
Stay in the room.
How about you, Neto?
Nope, Brian cells did the most they could today.
Amazing. They did great. They really did. Honestly, the conversation with Ryze, chef's kiss.
What, where he couldn't figure out what infinite meant?
It was great, honestly.
We're inside something.
All right, then we'll go ahead and finish out the session with a visit to the Nimble Needle.
Nice.
Am I good to hop off, Blaine?
Yes, you are good to head out. Thank you for sticking around.
Alrighty. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Nymeria.
Good chaos.
All right, so Svenna, Morlock, Borea, and Ignatia. You're wandering down the streets. Again, you guys get a lot of looks. It's the middle of the
I have
day.
to imagine, like, this is like, yeah,
This is
we
some.
got both of them this time.
It's like somebody's walking down your street in your suburb with like a bear and a tiger. Like, the fuck. So you do get a whole bunch of looks, but you eventually make your way to the Nimble Needle. You approach the shop,
Can
and
Ignatia
it's
fit in the doors?
no. Ignatia's much too large for this single person.
I
door.
assume so. I'd say to Ignatia, I'm sorry, but you have to wait outside.
Aw. Okay.
I'm gonna recast Psychic Whispers and explain to Ignatia that if she needs anything, that all she has to do is think about it.
Bread, meat, food.
I'll toss it some rations on the floor and head inside.
Woo! It's gonna eat the rest.
It worked!
So as you guys approached and entered, the actual building itself is beautiful. It's got some really nicely ornately carved windows. The walls themselves have this like beautiful plaster outside with intricate wood laid up on the walls as decorative wood. There's a nice chimney stack. The roofing is also like a really nice tile, like better than most of the houses nearby. As you enter in, this is a luxurious tailor shop, if you will. Like, a regular tailor might have a whole bunch of like thread and needles and bolts of cloth and things like that scattered about. This place is fairly large and has a beautiful row of bolts of cloth, string, threads, all on one side. There's a couple of tables in the center. On one side is like a fitting area where you get measured and you try on the clothing, with some mirrors facing. You know, like if you go to a wedding dress shop or something and they have the 3 mirrors or whatever. Just the entire place just sort of exudes fancy. And as you walk in, you're greeted by the proprietor of the shop. She walks up and says, "Well, hello, dears. My name is Madeline. What can I do for you today?"
Hi, I have a weird request.
Well, we
If you
get
could
all
follow
kinds.
me outside, it'd be easier.
Oh, dear. Okay. She's gonna follow you outside. Sees the dragon. Oh dear, the dragon! Ah!
They've
Also, at this point, she's gonna see Morlock as well. So
Oh, he didn't come in with us?
I don't know, but she saw him just now.
they're all perfectly safe. Don't worry. It's just the dragon here. His wings were injured, and I was wondering if you could do anything that maybe help his wings function as they normally would.
She seems very tentative to go over there, and the dragon seems very tentative to be touched or even examined by this person.
Ignacio, is it alright if this person touches you? They may be able to help you with your wings.
Fix wing?
Maybe fix wing, yes.
Looks at you very, like, in the eyes, and is like, "Oh, okay."
That's safe.
The woman is still, like, eyeballing the dragon and the demon. It's sort of like... And so she walks over to the dragon and kind of, like, tentatively reaches her hand out. Like, both of them are so skittish that any fast movement from either party is going to cause issues. Eventually, she ends up touching the wings where the tears were. She sort of, like, feels them over. They're sealed over tears. They've healed up, but, like, they'll never connect like they did. So she takes a little bit of time and feels them over and kind of pulls the flaps up to see how they would have connected. Well, perhaps I could do something. This is an incredibly custom job. I'm not even sure it would work. Is that all right?
Yes, but
How much would
I'd
it
really
cost?
rather not pay if they're not going to work.
I won't know if they work if... But it's not like I have experience doing this.
It's
I
not
thought-
like I have money to waste on things
Why
that
don't-
work. I appreciate you trying, but I don't want to waste the money on that.
Well, perhaps I'll put together... I could try and put together a quote, but of course you'd have to pay for it. The materials, at least. This seems very interesting.
Exactly, it's a research project. How many leatherworkers can say they've worked on a dragon's wings?
I suppose not many. Tell you what, I'll give you the work at cost, because this is a very interesting situation, and getting to work on a real dragon? Story of a lifetime, but I have to charge you for the material cost at the very least.
How much would that be, if you have a rough estimate?
I do not have a rough estimate.
Okay. Just, yeah.
Yes, I'll put that together for you. You're part of the adventuring party, are you not? I mean,
Yeah.
the dragon and the demon, and you all look rather imposing.
Thank you.
Where are you staying?
The half full cup.
Oh, wonderful. Would it be all right if I had a quote sent over for you, perhaps tomorrow?
That would be very nice, thank you.
Wonderful.
We may not be in all of tomorrow. Early in the morning would be preferable.
Oh, yes, of course. Early in the morning. Do you mind if I take some measurements first? She kind of looks between you and the dragon when she asks that question.
if Ignatia's okay with it, yes.
Okay.
While you're at it, can you measure the demon as well?
She's now going to look at the like 9-foot tall fucking demon.
I don't think she can reach.
Dear,
I can help you reach if you need.
what exactly are we doing for your friend?
He needs a cloak.
Oh, a cloak.
And I'm gonna ask in telepathic to Morlock. Is there anything else you want tailored for yourself?
He's just gonna look at you and shrug because he doesn't even know.
Okay.
Maybe
Just
he wants
cloak.
a wing.
That's more of a prosthetic.
Yeah.
The woman's like, all right, one moment, and she's gonna scurry back inside. Takes a minute or two, and she comes back out with a whole bunch of measuring tapes, some tools, notepad and paper. Draws a rough sketch of the dragon's wing and how it looks, and then a rough diagram of the demon, just sort of like indicating its height. And puts the wing on there and sort of like. It takes probably like a half an hour because of all the interesting sets of measurements, but she goes around and gets all of them, notes them down.
Great story.
And this has got to be the strangest set of requests I've ever had.
So, a demon and a dragon walk into a tailor's.
Yee. That's a Netto joke right there.
I'm on it.
The woman finally finishes the measurements and sort of takes a look at the two of you and she says, well, is there anything I can perhaps tailor for you? Two beautiful women. I do have dresses, of course, in case you perhaps wanted to woo anyone.
Looks at Svenna and the demon.
Svenna's going to pretend that she doesn't notice that, but she's going to prick up at the sound of the dress. And, kind of, I don't know what she would say, but she is interested in having clothes.
Oh dear, it looks like you haven't had a dress in quite some time. I can see it on your face. Please come with me. And she's gonna literally like arm grab you, like with her arm, and like sort of lead you inside.
Oh, okay.
Freya will just tell like the other two, I'll be right back, and then follow her inside.
Morlock and
Morlock would probably follow in.
Morlock and Ignatius sort of give each other like glances.
They have telepathic if they want
I
to
know.
each other.
They're just sort of like still learning
Imagine
about each
Morlock
other.
being like, hello.
Morlock sort of does this lumbering bend down to get inside. But he does stand kind of against the wall on the interior of the shop. Svenna, so for you, she sort of takes you and puts you like on the little mirror stand. She gathers up a whole bunch of like assorted dresses and pieces of clothing, and like it's less about you and it's more about her trying to dress you up in some like pretty way. You're just the doll. Eventually she does settle down on a couple of pieces. There's a very nice elegant dress, and there's also a more ball gowny kind of deal that she ends up picking.
Svenna looks at the ball gown. She's like mulling it over, but at the end she's like, that's a little bit too fancy for what I was thinking.
Are you actually?
I think a white version of that would look really good.
Hush.
Oh yes, of course it would look really good. Perhaps the more slimming, elegant one, in case you had somebody in mind.
What do you mean?
Looks towards the door.
Well, for the wooing. And, you want to impress on a first date if perhaps you had somebody. I don't see a ring. I assume you're still looking for someone.
Svena's ears go down. She looks at the floor, and she like starts fiddling with her thumbs in her hands. And
actually, we've been sleeping together, so.
Oh, well, it's also good for the bedroom.
I don't.
That sounds great.
No. I just wanted something to feel a little bit more casual and feminine. And she kind of like gestures to herself, not in my battle gear.
Oh, just something to wear day to day.
Was that a wedding dress?
Well, I've got your measurements. Perhaps I could work on some stuff, and I could have you come and check them out tomorrow.
I can pick up the quote for the dragon as well then.
Wonderful. And you? And she turns to Borea. It's like, would you like anything?
No, thank you.
She just got a new cloak.
I did.
And it is absolutely high quality. Look at this. And she starts to really pick it apart and like look at the stitching.
Oh, no.
And
She's not gonna let her touch it.
she like keeps trying to touch it, and you keep batting her away.
Exactly what's happening, yeah.
But in any case, so you guys finish up with the Nimble Needle, say your goodbyes. The four of you head off.
As we head off, I'm gonna look over at, or actually no, I'm not gonna even look at Berea, but I'm like gonna be staring at the ground as we're walking out, and I'm gonna be like visibly fuming. Oh, I had something I was gonna say, I forget. Wait one sec. Oh, I'm not trying to loot anybody.
Oh, no, of course. When you wanted to share the room the other night with a demon, that was completely normal. And you asked in a completely normal way.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing, I said it was completely normal.
There's nothing going on between us.
There's the person who ran past yelling, I never fucked it.
Because it was true.
It was... But you have something to say?
At this point, Morlock is gonna pipe up in your minds and be like, "You know we can hear you."
No. Didn't know.
Svenna like pulls on her ears to like lower them even further. I don't know if Berea would be able to tell what type of emotions I'm feeling right now, though, because I don't think that they're what she thinks.
Well,
Svenna lets out an exasperated sigh.
Well, it reaches about midday at this point. You all head back to the half-full cup, presumably.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
When did Lephia tell me to come back in the morning? Oh, I know, in a couple weeks. Ignore me. Okay. There are a lot of deadlines for things.
Yeah, there was a lot of information this session.
There was a lot of come back another time.
Yeah, I only have so much prepared at a time.
I know. Yeah, it makes sense. We don't
But
have a lot of stuff left anyway.
imagine. That being said, we'll go ahead and wrap that up as the ending of the session. You guys heading towards the half-full cup. Rex, Nymeria, and Neto having already been there. And we will go ahead and pick up 2 weeks from now. That will be on... What day is that going to be?
The 22nd.
The 22nd. So July 22nd, same time, we'll be picking up episode 18. All of the previous episodes are uploaded onto our YouTube, in case anybody's interested in rewatching those. Great time, everybody. Definitely don't forget to check out some of our other VODs and all that. And yeah, we'll see you guys for D&D in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.
Wait, you're not gonna stream Ford's campaign?
We hadn't discussed it yet.
Oh.
I thought you said you were.
I mean, we were talking about it.
Oh, I don't go.
All right, chat. Tentatively, there's another one that we'll stream next week, but it's a separate
Is it
campaign.
Madeline, her name? It's
Madeline,
wasn't
yeah.
it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All
How
right.
is Madeline's?
Later, chat.
Bye.
Bye, chat.